And welcome along to tonight's race, guys. It is Thursday night. It can only mean one thing. It's ERC 100. For anyone who doesn't know, this is a 100% race distance, 100% then in qualifying as well. Realistic cars, and even better again, we have the closest thing to Murray Walker, and some say he's better than Murray Walker. Papa, how are you doing?
Fantastic. These intros get even better. Every race, these intros for me get better.
Well, look, at the end of the day, I'm underselling you even at that. MCL's after saying evening, lads. MCL, do you know what? I'm going to wish you a good race today because, you know, you had your little headache yesterday and I don't want to be giving you another headache.
I think that was least of his problems, wasn't his headache, with these being sick and everything.
Very true. Very, very true. Tonight's race is going to be definitely an interesting one. I'm seeing some good faces in there as well. Some extra names I haven't seen in a good while, like Lord Vacaz. It's great to see these guys still in this great community here. Sainties after saying, I'm saying Ricky for the win.
Oh. Well, I've heard different because you can't get to grips with the Aston Martin.
We will be making some mad predictions as always. That's part of our thing here. So we're qualifying coming up. We'll wait till the top 10 for the top 3, I think, and we'll just enjoy kind of going through the motions here a bit. But I suppose, firstly, will we just jump in to get the standings out of the way to get everyone up to date on what's been happening in ERC 100 and show the driver and the constructors, yeah?
Yeah, no problem.
Grand job. So let's jump into that while everything's loading up there. So we're going to look at the driver standings first. In first place, it is McLaren on 122 points. In second place is the CEO, the creator himself, Mr. Exo, in second there on 112 points. In third place is Maidenbean, or I don't know how you say that name, but anyway.
Mindenbean or Mitch.
Flick the Bean, I'll call him from now on. He's on 105 points.
He'll enjoy that, Colin.
He's on 105 points. And then ARC Hilly is on 104 points. So nice little ding-dong going on there with them. So, you know, at the end of the day, 22 points. Let's actually 18 points covering the top 4 with Hilly there as well. So a one race win and a DNF could really change this around as well. So McLaren does have to keep it on the track. Now, he's after getting practice last night as well with the race yesterday. So this is double that distance again. And, you know, it's all about playing smart. Then a 5th place Rookie License is on 99 points. Then behind Rookie License, Exo's, would I say twin brother? They're both South African. They're both absolutely head cases as well. Mr. Bird himself on 77 points there. Then we have
glad you said that, Colin.
Well, they are head cases in the best way possible. And plus, I will just say this, right? So, just for all you English guys watching, including yourself, don't forget who absolutely owns you in the World Cup. That's all I'm saying in the rugby. All I'm saying.
That's the answer to everything.
Well, they destroyed us, and I was so happy. I was delighted for South Africa. It was a great win that time. But back into
sorry, Colin, for interrupting, but even if it's a darts match or something like that, they'll come in with it. Yeah, but we won the World Cup in the Rugby Union. Even if it's a darts match, tiddlywinks, marbles, it's always.
But they're just stating the fact.
Yeah, true.
There's no fact.
Carry on, I won't interrupt you again.
I just backed them up all day long when it comes to the rugby. I was delighted for them. Although Japan done very well in that World Cup, but we'll get back to that after we go through this first. So we've got PWWNDXZT727 in 7th spot on 45 points. Then we've got Bluntblade on 38 points in 8th. Then we have the Fruits of Your Loins, Mr. Ricky himself in 9th spot on 35 points. Sierra is in 10th spot on 33 points. And bear in mind, 9th and 10th are both reserves, so that's amazing going from reserve drivers. Then in 11th spot, we have ERC Shaggy. He is on 33 points also, joint with Sierra, so a reserve joint with a full-time racer. Then in 12th, we have ERC Billy on 30 points. Then we have M Steel on 26 points. ERC is at Wolf then on 23. Then we've got Tiny on 18 points, a reserve also. I'm going to call him Seaman from now on, in 16 spot. And he's on 17 points. And we've Lord Rakaz, the Bacalao King himself, on 15 points, joined with E.T. Scar on 15 points. Then we have ERC All Gold on 13 points. Donaldinho is on 11 points in 20 position. Then we have your best friend ever, Sternface, who is on 10 points. ERC Bull is on 9 points down in 22nd. ERC Dave is still holding in 23rd with 0 points. Then there's Pastiello, is it?
Yeah.
He is on 0 points in 40 and 24th. ERC Franks in 25th. Yeah, to get off the mark. Bruno, I'm just going to say, in 26th. We call Curtis there in 27th. And the Polish meat, I'm just going to call him, I can't even think about him right now, in 28 on 0. Now, to the business side of things as well, with the Constructors' Championship there, we are looking, so, why is it called in tiers? Sorry.
The tiers, right. At the beginning of the season, the drivers have a bit of a speed test. Okay. And then the tiers are determined on the finishing times. Obviously, the faster they are, the slower the car they get allocated.
Okay.
So, yes, that's how they decide it. And then if you are doing very well in a certain tier, you get moved up a tier to the next grade of car, if you understand.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so then tier 1 is on 268 points. Tier 4 is in second spot on 229. Tier 3 is on 204. Tier 2 is on 169. And Tier 5 is on 120. So that's interesting to see a lower tier up in second spot.
Yeah, your Tier 1, you've got Aston Martin and Williams. Tier 2 is Haas and AlphaTauri.
Okay.
Tier 3, Alpine and Alfa Romeo. And then Tier 4 is Mercedes and McLaren. And Tier 5 is Ferrari and Red Bull. So you slow your time in your trial.
Right.
The higher tier you are.
Do you know what? I actually really like that idea. That's definitely something different.
Because you aim at getting promoted every race. You know, you want to do well, and then you get into a higher tier, slower car, and it pushes you that a little bit more.
Absolutely. No, I like that. I like that. We'll jump on now from the standings, though, back into the race itself, into the qualifying. So we're finally onto the qualifying for the guys that are watching, although, bear with me one sec. There we go now. I just want to get everything set up there now. So realistically here, because there's only 15 in the lobby, you can really just kind of get a little eye in, barely use up a set of tyres. I don't know why they're using softs unless it's mandatory. I'd be throwing on the hardest tyre possible there.
Yeah, I think it is mandatory. I don't know the exact rulings, Colin, but yeah, you always seem to be using the soft, and then they'll perhaps put a harder compound on for Q2.
Yeah.
Obviously, dependent on the weather, but
actually, no. Do you know what? The reason why they're not using it here, because you're not going to use softs really in this race, and 100% you'll be able to do one stop on medium to hard here.
Correct.
So that's why. Now, I know this track is very new to you. You're probably not ever heard of Silverstone before, you know?
Me? Nah.
But do you want to know a fact about Silverstone?
Go on.
I think it's held the most British GPs, and I think it's second to Monza in holding the most GPs in Formula 1.
Monza and Spa.
Yeah.
I have got it in your Magic Mike facts later on in the show.
Woo! Can't wait for them. Can't wait for them. So realistically, I don't think we're going to see really hot times here, because, you know, nobody really needs to be killing their tyres or going too mental here, to be fair about it. Looking out there really at the minute, I'm just going to have a quick nose to everyone. Siemens coming back into the pits now, and I'm sorry, I'm calling him Seaman from now on. That's his name. Sarah out there in the Williams. I'm interested now because it's realistic performance as well. I'm very interested to see how the backmarkers do. We've got Hilly and the Haas. Oh, Wallace is in an Aston. Tasty.
Yeah.
Tasty. Mr. Steele himself in the Williams as well. PWWNZ T21. There's actually no one on track. Oh no, there is. Sierra and he's coming in. Nobody wants to be out there. Flick the Bean himself is out there as well. Do you know what? If you've already gone out, to be honest with you, to save all the other guys' time with drawing the pits, if I was him then I'd be jumping in there as well. And just getting into the action.
Correct. Definitely. You know, we're not losing anybody in this first quali.
But I'm losing 15 minutes of talking to you and listening to that beautiful voice, so maybe they're just doing this to have you talk in the stream. Did you ever think of that?
Well, that's my main hobby, talking. I'm good at talking, so...
Well, I have to say, you're one of the best I've come across in comms, mate, so keep up what you're doing.
I love it. You know, Colin, I tell you every time I speak to you, I just love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, you can tell. But like, there's a massive difference with guys, you know, that go in to do comms and are just there to fill the void of silence. While there's people that have the passion for it, like yourself, that it engages with people and they want to keep listening. And the fact that you're there getting all these little facts during the day, you put your time and thought into what you're doing, which is great.
I've got nothing else to.
Well, you have to keep that young lad in line of yours, you know.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's a full-time job and a half. That is.
I'm telling you. Sure, look, has to be done. Has to be done. Yeah, so I reckon this should be fairly quick if people do decide to retire. Now, we do have a track guide, but I just need to understand, how are you getting these people to do these track guides for you? Like, we've joked about it, but like, I really don't understand how you got Max through the last 2 races in a row, and then if you wanted to say who you got and how you got it, because I'm still in shock of how you get this kind of stuff in.
I can't get it in my head how you can't believe it, because it's second nature to me, because I've grown up with the kids, you know what I mean?
You've raised them as your own.
Exactly, you know, it's Max learnt him to drive and everything, and then say when he was into karting and what have you, I met up with Lewis and his family, and as I said to you last night, it was Sunday night, knock at the door, I answer the door, hey up Lewis, you alright, just come for a brew, Mike. Get the little cappuccino on.
That's what I like to
because
hear.
you know I have to buy in bulk for when Lewis does come to visit, because he likes his little cappuccino.
Absolutely, and, they're his favourite, aren't they?
But oh yeah. I think he's going to endorse them for next season and get them on side. And then give me this DVD that I've passed on to yourself, and and we had a poll last night to see what driver they want to me get in touch with next, and if you want to put that poll up against Colin, it's up to you. But if the viewers, spectators want to know I've got a favourite or anything like that, I'll see what I can do.
So who do you want? So what driver next? I'll ask.
Yeah, you know, if you don't mind. It's...
So what driver? So there's 5 slots. So do you know who I'm going to pick? Perez, actually.
I don't get on with Sergio.
Oh, do you know?
No.
Okay, I'm going to put him in anyway just to annoy you. And who else?
Oh, Lando.
Next one up.
Charles. I'm out with brunch on Friday with Charles, actually.
Do you know what? I'm going to give Sebastian Vettel an element in here as well, because I'd like to see if Sebastian would give you a hand.
I've not seen him for a few weeks.
How is he getting on?
He was all right last time. He was having his haircut last time I saw him.
Oh, fair. And I'm going to throw in Max as well for the crack. So that poll is now up, guys. Don't be afraid to get in there. We should have put in Nicholas Latifi and Pastor Maldonado, but we'll do that the next day. 5 minutes, or 6 minutes left. I don't think we're going to see any more action. Fastest lap of 129.512. I'm pretty sure we will be seeing faster than that coming into the main part of qualifying.
There's a Merc on the track, I think.
What was the Merc on now?
It's
That's only no
Pasteleo.
lap. Pastor Maldonado, that's Pastor now.
Yeah, Pasteleo.
How did Pastor Maldonado get himself a seat in Mercedes?
Ah, that's
Did
a
you help out
question.
there?
I can't. I take in all the plaudits, Colin, and I don't like it. I'm not used to it.
Well, look, there's only one man that can get stuff done, it seems, and it's definitely you. Every time I need a track guide, I'm just like, Papa, do you know what I'm going to do a track guide? And bang, you have something then like a few hours later.
I'm here to provide a service, whether it's comms or anything like that.
It's
So I'm just doing what I like doing, and
well, you're doing an amazing job. Now, here's a question for you. What was your favourite race at Silverstone in Formula 1 in real life? Through the years.
let's say a 2022 wasn't bad.
It was a good one.
I would say I'm going back to me James Hunt, them years 76, 77.
Nice.
When the drivers used to help change the tyres with a fag in the mouth and what have you. That's obviously Jenson Button's win.
True, that was an amazing win, to be fair. But also, as I was thinking of now, and I'm not British and I'm saying this, Nigel Mansell that time was just a
Mansell,
different
yeah.
level, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was as close to losing a championship as winning it. Yes, it is a bit historic, that win.
It was absolutely unreal. And just the scenes afterwards with literally the crowds, not one fuck given for safety. Straight onto the track.
Oh, right, yeah. There was still cars on the track, wasn't there? If you remember rightly.
It's not like today where you like there's no way getting on. The crowds just jumped on. It was still a live track, not a bother, and surrounded his car. I think he had to get out of the car eventually.
He had a job, but I looked at his spectators on the pitch and not protesting.
Oh, what a day. So in real life next season, what are you predicting? Because obviously the cars are being unveiled now in about 2.5 weeks' time. I think the first one's due around February the 10th, I think it is. What are you expecting from this season? So obviously pre-season, before we know anything, before there's any pre-season testing. What's your predictions for 2023 in F1?
Well, Red Bull have got a lot to live up to, whether they can maintain it. Ferrari couldn't get any worse tactics-wise, strategic-wise. That's got to improve. Mercedes has got to improve, and I think it has with all the rumours that we are hearing.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking somebody around the AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo might be sticking the nose into them top sixes. McLaren, I think they'll be pretty strong this year.
Yeah.
But it's all speculation at the moment, I know, but that's what I think.
I'm going to be ballsy. I'm going to name the top 3 in the championship team-wise.
Go on.
Ferrari are going to do it this year, and I've met it to my madness. I'm going to say Red Bull second and Mercedes third. And the meta to my madness is Red Bull have less time and aero, and they spent more on their budget this year. Ferrari, it looked like they kind of stopped developing when they knew they couldn't really win.
Yeah, and obviously there's some backseat people have left and come in with fresh blood, which can only mean fresh ideas, and
absolutely.
And you can't go anywhere from these because Ferrari performance-wise, they were doing okay. It was just the background stuff and some of the.
Is your headset connected in because it's getting very muted?
Oh, I have just re-thinking my phone. Just bear with me, mate.
Ah, okay.
Oh, how was that, mate?
We'll see.
I'm there.
You're there anyway. Is there a wild papa?
How's that?
That's way better.
Yeah, I've just turned it on and turned it off again. You know that's the specific way that you fix things.
Yeah, and is that the way you do it with the ladies as well?
I can't say anything. I'm in earshot.
I'll get you in trouble.
I've just been told I'm on the settee tonight.
Oh, nice. I had to be no harm. No harm. Well, give Lewis a shout. Lewis or Max or someone will surely take you in.
He's the way, isn't he?
Ah, fair. Oh, that's unlucky. Look, you can get the flight to Ireland there. You can stay here with me. It's no bother.
Hey, you might regret that.
Come here, any time at all. You know yourself, bro. Now let me see. So,
that's another list.
The only thing we've lost in this session is our dignity. Other than that, nothing else has happened.
I've lost my relationship now.
Sure, look, you'll be able to mend that up. You'll probably go to Monaco now with Lewis and Max and go to loads of parties and raves and all that.
Oh, never again.
Never again?
Never
can you fill us in here, can you?
Well, I'll have to make reference to Reed. He fixes it up with the midget strippers, so...
Oh, yeah. Reed's a legend.
Midget strippers, yeah. I've got my own direct number now.
You know, Exo's actually a midget stripper pimp.
I don't have to go through a pimp or a register now. I'm straight through.
But see, Exo's the main midget pimp, though. Exo has the top class midgets.
Oh, he's got a season ticket.
Season ticket strippers, I love it. Sure, no harm, no harm. So we have Shaggy is the first to go out.
He was for Q1, so he's cheating his ass the other. Does he think there's rain coming?
I just think maybe he's just eager to get track time, get the eye in, get the feel of the car. Obviously, it's going to be totally different than qualifying to the race. As in the race, like real F1, they carry about 105 kilos worth of fuel to get to the end.
That's half the weight of the car, isn't it?
Oh, it's a lot of weight to be carrying. But he's doing quite well at the minute. I have to say, I do like the Alpine. It's a lovely looking car.
Yeah, it is.
And then it looks like behind Rookie License is quite eager in the Ferrari.
Ferrari.
My name is Rookie and I race for Ferrari. But I do like that Ferrari used the black wing again. It reminds me of, do you remember, I think it was 91 when they had the black wing with the big yellow sponsor on it. It was just a gorgeous looking car, very simple looking, black front and rear wing and red body work. It was just a thing of beauty.
1991, yeah.
That's what I like to see. The track is not as active as I was expecting. 7 cars out of 15.
Yeah. So you got a little gaggle of 3 and then another 3 pretty stretched out. I know we just had a Ferrari come on track, but no. You'd expect... Well, I'd be out. Getting a feel and...
I think the three guys up front are a bit mad, though. They're so close together. Like...
They're racing, aren't they?
Well, it's qualifying. I'd be all about getting my own grip or time. Because you could easily... If someone makes a mistake... I don't know if you notice this, but sometimes if you have tunnel vision following a car, and sometimes they make a mistake, you could end up just making a bit of a mistake yourself, then missing the braking point or something.
Exactly. No, I've been holding back a bit, giving myself a little bit of space. Like you say, anything could happen. Slightest thing. You know, Silverstone's renowned for its hairs on track. All it takes is one of them pop out and.
Ooh. So 83% of the votes went for Lando. So they want to see a Lando quali next. Interesting.
Yeah.
Where is the next track?
Oh, is it?
I should be looking at you. I'll be able to see that myself in a second.
I have got a list in there.
So let's just jump back on with Shaggy, because he's going to be the first person crossing the line for the very first time. I think off is Ryan for McLaren. Rookie license now gone fastest with Ryan in second, Shaggy in third. 1:29.433 is the time to beat. Now it looks like Hilly is out next, so on with Hilly here at the minute. Let's see what he can do and where he goes. Hilly up into fourth spot. I think then it's Steele is next. And that Williams. I'm expecting a 1:10 from him today. No, he's definitely not on the super fast lap. He's just getting the car around, set up I think for another lap. 1:30.6. Sierra, where can Sierra go?
Shaggy and Ryan are still racing each other.
That's crazy. Sierra up in the fourth spot, not a bad time. So you've got everyone else backwards in the pits other than Flick the Bean himself out here.
Flick the Bean.
Flick the Bean.
One of the most improved drivers at ERC at the moment, Lyndon.
Do you reckon he's probably flicking the bean a bit too much?
Oh, he's flicked the bean now. He's gone off.
As I said, I seen it. I was like, oh.
Bit too much pressure there, flicking the bean.
Get your hands back on the wheel.
Come hither.
MCL is now going out for an hour warm-up lap, so I know he was super fast around here yesterday in qualifying, and we could be looking at him for maybe possibly pole.
Could do, but if a slow time comes in, he will be using his illness as an excuse.
I suppose don't forget as well, he's in the Aston.
The Aston tank.
Oh, what a boat.
But it looks nice though.
I'm over Aston. I'm over it. I'm just over them. And Alonso's taking up a seat now at this stage that is not going to get him on.
No. I don't know if it was you I spoke to about it, but I went to Pageant of Power. It's a bit of a get together at Chumley Castle in Cheshire, and get all the old Grand Prix cars there. You know, going back to the 40s, 50s, and the Bentley rally car was there, and it was the same colours as the Aston Martin, mate. And I tell you. Not the rally car, the Le Mans 24-hour.
Oh yes.
Superb looking car, mate. And it was this colour, same colour as the Aston Martin.
That was absolutely. That was part of the peak of the prototypes, though. In fairness, back for me, my favourite era in racing, for the likes of GT cars, because you had the GT1s in the late 90s, where you had the LM like McLaren, you had the Porsche 911, the GT1, the Mercedes CLK GTR. You had some amazing cars like that, and then those Bentleys. Then a few years later were this beautiful with the Audi.
Yeah, not the Porsche GT. Can't remember, but it was as wide as they are long. Superb looking cars.
Oh yeah, they're amazing. I love that GT race, and I do mess with them on a game called Automobilista 2. The GT stuff is so good.
And they sound brilliant.
Oh, the Sauber C9 from like the early 90s.
Correct. Yes.
Michael Schumacher actually won in that in Le Mans.
Yeah, I didn't call him, no. Yeah, I'm learning something every day with you. Every day I learn something different.
You taught me how to kiss, but I won't tell people how you done that.
Who taught you how to flip the beam?
MCL goes and pole in the boat.
There you go, MCL. Answers his critics and then parks up on the start-finish straight. Good lad.
Because you realise he's out in the boat, you forgot to take the anchor out. There's probably a bit more time with that. The sandbags are going to come out with that one, I'd say, yeah. I'd be expecting him to be in the 128s.
Yeah, coming in it. So what are you saying about Michael Schumacher in the GT?
So he won in the Sauber C9. It was a Mercedes-powered Sauber GT car. I suppose it was kind of... I'm pretty sure that was like the prototypes back then in like 89, 90 it was.
Right.
and they'd won. And then I think it wasn't the year later than 91, then Johnny Herbert won in the Mazda, the 787.
Yeah, remember that Mazda, Johnny Herbert.
And do you want to know why the Wankel rotary was so good? Now, it was awful on fuel economy and it was awful with oil and that, but because a Wankel engine has less moving parts, it was way more reliable.
Yeah, all right, interesting.
So that's why it was banned straight out of the bat, because it's such a reliable engine.
Right.
Like, obviously, if anyone knows a Wankel rotary engine, after about 50, 60,000 miles, you would have to change the tips down the rotor because they do wear out, even with the carbon ones on it. But that was an amazing car, that.
What the tips made from? Were the
there would have been a carbon composite back then as well.
Right.
But they just wear down. That's, you know, it is what it is with them. And that's why they have oil injected in to obviously keep it lubricated. So in with the fuel, a little bit of oil was injected in as well. I had an RX-8, so I was a bastard to keep oil in, excuse my French, but it was terrible.
Nice.
No,
So you've gone from one extreme to the other. There's only 3 cars on track now. Everybody else is in the pit.
I know, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm looking at Seaman driving around Silverstone.
Dribbling around
there in the AlphaTauri. In fairness, it's the kind of car you wouldn't mind dribbling out. It's a gorgeous car, the AlphaTauri.
I love it.
I do love the colours of it as well. He's driving very, very smoothly, and I don't know if he is driving majorly fast, but he's definitely very smooth. It looks like he is following Wallace, actually. Ricky is out on track.
Yeah.
And Siemens after giving up, it looks of it. Yeah. Ah. So baby Wallace.
Can't hold Seaman against the Wallace.
Or can you? We won't get into detail about that one. Some say. Oh, he's after carrying nice speed through there. Very brave.
That's one thing Ricky's got. He's got a lot of bravery. Sometimes it catches it out, but I must say his brother was the same motocross track racer. He was
nice.
Nothing phased him. And Ricky's, it's in his blood, I think.
I think to be a racer, you need to have that mentality, because if you start having fear, you end up second guessing yourself and letting off a bit. So you need to be just one of those people that has pure confidence and absolute faith in yourself, and that's why every single F1 driver and every competitive driver is just a big ball of ego.
Yeah. Well, if anybody asked me, you know, sum Ricky up in 3 words, I'd say didn't give up.
Yeah. Well, it's the right kind of way in not caring, do you know what I mean? He just gets out there and he does the job. He knows what his limits are. He's very fair when it comes to track space. As Bird puts in a nice little lap there as well, in the Haas of 129.2.
Yeah, good lap, Bird.
So Wallace now wants to be backing up his teammate here. What can he do? A 129 or 130 this time round, so up in 9th at the minute, but that's not a bad outlap. He could be going again. The only thing is, he doesn't have much ERS to do so. So let me see.
30.
Yeah, no one's going too mad as of yet. So I'm sure Seaman Gold, Ludolf will have to go out surely. Ludolf, don't be doing this to me, because he went out last week and done qualifying and done well, and now he's doing back to his usual tricks and not coming out here.
And you got to look at last night.
It's mind games, this. So Ricky is taking it easy by the looks of it. So maybe he's doing a cool down lap, recharging the batteries.
Yeah. Siemens on the outlap.
We have Sierra, Hilly, Flick the Bean, Steele, big ball of Seaman. I might as well be rootless if we're doing it. Bird's gone back into the pits. Bird is definitely safely through there. Ludolf is on his outlap now. All Gold is not leaving the pits.
No, he's fell asleep.
I was about to say he's all snores now for not giving us a show. It's like you can read me mind here.
Exo's parked up at the side of the track. Oh, he's letting back cars past. He's letting the car
Fair.
past.
See, that's when you can tell a good league, when the drivers know to not block, and we say this in the GT racing that obviously I'm big into as well. When you see drivers getting out of the way and not impeding anyone, that's when you know you're on a good track with good drivers, because they are absolutely aware of their surroundings, of who's actually on a fast lap, where they are on it, and they don't ever block. And I love seeing that here as well.
Yeah, he just, there's a lot of respect for these guys.
Yeah.
Not as you can tell from the Discord, like, but yeah, there is.
I love it. I had some laugh last night with the guys. Wallace, though, is now... This is it. Because we've got 3 cars behind him, all looking to improve up. And it just takes 2 of them to jump up, and he is then wham bam out. And he does not want that. And I know he has the pace. So in Sector 1, it's not showing me a sector time. So Baby Wallace is in the pits.
Yeah, Steele's just gone to P10.
He's on a lap though as well. And you have Ludok behind, and Seaman is on a lap. Fastest Sector 1, 27.9 it was. Although he hasn't put a lap in, so that's why.
Oh, Seaman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just turning his lap now.
Up. Ludolf.
Wasn't he?
Ludolf. So Flick the Bean is really flying out there. He's flicking the steering like he does the Bean. He's getting around those corners quite fast.
You want to cool down a bit flicking that, because it'd be all over too quick.
Joe, he's getting excited probably hearing your voice in the comms box. Has to be. And Hilly's crossing line, moves up into 4th there. Nice lap. You've got Mr. Shaggy.
Shaggy.
It wasn't me.
He was.
Definitely was. It was the worst type of accent as well.
Yeah, Steele's just gone into P9. There's my phone gone.
Oh no.
Yeah, Steele's P9.
Siemens up into P7.
So that's knocking Wallace out.
Oh, Wallace did get knocked out after. Wow. So we have then out so far Lord Rickhaz, who hasn't... Mr. Rickhaz, why aren't you out there doing a bit of quali? So Lord Rickhaz, unfortunately, is not going to be going through either. So ERC Shaggy is after getting pole for Q2, but now this is the main show for Q3. So we have lost. I'll go through it all there again. So we have then the Portuguese Lord Rickhaz, Portuguese Bacalhau King, then actually a Portuguese companion then, Pastello then out in 14th position. Down South African All Gold is out then in 13th position. Then you have the Scottish South African EXO out in 12th position. And then we have the unknown world Mr. Wallace in 11th
South Korean.
spot. South Korean. I thought he was North Korean. Is he not Kim Jong-un's son?
No, mine.
What a pro dad, you can't even mess about it. No, he's mine. You better get pole now. I love it.
No, he's out.
Always have to have the bit of bands by. Look in here, it's going to be interesting now to see how far the timing evolves up, because with Q3 we will see everyone go mad. So we're going to do the usual top 3 predictions. Go for it.
Right, I am going to go with MCL, Bird, and Minden.
Okay. I'm going to go different here.
Go on.
I'm going to go Bird for pole. I'm going to go Sierra 2nd and McLaren 3rd.
Okay.
I probably ruined Bird and Sierra's chances, but look.
We didn't do
worse,
bad
though.
last night. We did well last night.
No, you done amazing. You got 3 out of 3, bro.
Yeah, but you got the one that you didn't pick actually come fourth, so you had an each way there, didn't you? An each way come in.
True. Oh, I should have done odds for this, but I didn't have time today, unfortunately. But the betting odds will be back for next week. I don't know who's going to be favourite next week, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I forgot where we are next week. I forgot where we are. If anybody's on the chat that knows where we are next week, let us know.
It'll probably take me 1 second. I'll just click out of this really quick for a sec. Where are we now? Blah 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 blah.
Is it Baku?
It is Canada.
Canada, that's it.
Hey, buddy. Do you watch South Park now?
So it's Frank's home Grand Prix.
Oh. Interesting. And it's going to be really like... I don't know if it's racist to say this, but like, I'm just going to drink like loads of maple syrup that day. What do you call that? Because it's not racist, because it's not about race, it's about a country. Stereotypical.
Stereotyping, lot.
That's the one. As you can tell, I'm quite stupid. I'm okay with it though.
As long as you're okay and, you know, in your own skin, fair enough.
Well, in fairness, I have no fucking choice. To be fair. To be fair about, but Mr. Steele is out there now. He's the first guy to get a lap in by the looks of it. But he does have the MCL coming out of the pits. MCL will surely get out of the way. Although he's going to put the shoe down, the looks of it. Down, it looks like Bird is out second. Would I be right? No, he's out. So Tilly is then behind Mr. Steele.
Yeah, you got Shaggy. Shaggy was first one out, I think, wasn't he?
I would reckon all of these are out on scrub tyres. There's no way they're going to bother burning out a new set.
Oh, they're all out now. We've got a full everybody's out.
We have a spin and also some getting it out of the way, never mind.
Yeah, it was fun.
He's hitting every apex on you, which is good to see from Mr. Steele. He takes
Ryan
a very
gone faster.
Oh, wow. I didn't even realise there was someone out there up in front that quick. Wow, 129.2. So already you can see the difference. The guys are starting to give it that bit more pace now. I know if Sainty was here tonight, he'd be winning. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, if Saint was here, he'd be in the Williams, I think.
Mr. Flick the Bean is on an invalidated lap, so there's no point looking at him. Sierra's coming around there now in the Williams.
I'm on with Shaggy, seems to be going alright. I can't see no split yet, right? But it's just coming into the
Siemens after getting up into fourth, mate.
Yeah, I think Shaggy's going to have a good lap. No, yeah, P5.
Shaggy, don't be letting me down. You better be out and scrubbed. So you said you're going to be in the top 3.
Did he?
I told him he has to. He may go in and get on fresh tyres there, throw a bit of illegal fuel in and turn them to turbo boost and say nothing. And we have MCL here. And the reason why I didn't pick MCL in my top 3 because it would have been the obvious choice because he got powered by such a margin yesterday. So I've gone with the wild card of Shaggy being in there. So let's see what happens.
That would be interesting. Lucky in the pits, overtook in the pit lane.
Oh, really?
Actually entering the pits, yeah. He took over. He overtook Ryan, actually in the pit lane. That was very scary.
Quite dodgy. MCL's validated his lap anyway.
Third in the pits.
Flick the beans on a decent enough lap here. Up onto pole he goes.
And then flip the bean.
He must have been getting the word in the air there. Look, Papa's looking at you there now, and he said, right, I'm going to do a lap. Sierra up into second spot now. Did I say... Oh, I said Sierra in the top three. It wasn't Shaggy. Sorry, Shaggy.
You said Sierra, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Shaggy.
So MCL's on.
Go on, Papa, go for it there with MCL. We're on board with him.
Yeah, MCL. Just coming into sector 2. Next gear. Pedal to the metal. Using one up there, probably. That's it. Yeah. You can see the left rolling with the blue. There you go. Let's see the here. It's the 200 miles.
Your mic has got very muted, brother, again.
You do. And I'm back on board. How was that sound?
It's a little bit better. It's not as clear as what it was, brother. MCL now coming across the line, up into second spot. Still has a bit of time out, 10th, just under a 10th there from Lyndon Bean. So, definitely anyone like the likes of Borden that I think we're all on scrub tyres. I do imagine there's at least 3-4 10s possibly in them.
MCL up to P2.
He's not done a bad job at all. And we already have, it looks like Ryan, no, not Ryan, Shaggy coming out of the pits already.
Yeah, Rookie's pulled out.
Bird's out as well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So how long have we got now? How long's left now?
3 minutes. Yellow flag out there. Rookie license has now retired from this session. We should be down to the last kind of 2.5, 3 minutes now. Unfortunately, with the yellow flag on the track of the slow moving McLaren, we won't be able to see. As it's blocking the time. Bird getting ready, Shaggy getting ready.
3:38 there is. 3 minutes 38 seconds.
Not too bad. Yeah, literally, it keeps changing every sector, yes, I can see it there, 3.5 minutes. So look, realistically, I don't expect to see Seaman, Hilly, Sierra, Ryan, or even Minden out for at least another probably minute. Because I'll gap it out a bit, let the guys get out there and around.
They won't finish the fags off, mate.
Smoking makes you slower.
Try and tell that to Flip the Bean.
True. Rookie license said he'd no spare softs, that's why he retired.
Go out to some wets then.
Imagine. That would be hilarious. Although there was a league where we all used to, during Q1, if there wasn't enough drivers, we used to just do a lap in intermediates and drive back into the pits. Just to save the set of softs for quali.
Let's go on that for that in the ERC. Good friend of mine did it a couple of rounds ago, and he got lambasted in the chat over it. I think he actually got penalty points.
Oh really? But it's sensible because you're not going to get in the way of anyone, and it means you're saving a set of tyres.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what he said. I thought he had valid excuses for doing it, but
I'd argue that one to the stewards. I'd be like, "Now, lads, let's sit down here with some graphs." Come on, Damo. Why isn't Damo here racing? I'd be picking Damo to win.
I don't know why he's not racing. Well, I can guess with the comments he made on the Discord earlier today. I'm not going into it on air, but
okay.
If you didn't read it, I'm not repeating it.
Yeah, no. Today I was working, and unfortunately, a lot of any Discord chats and any Discords that I'm in during the day, it does go over my head unless I'm in the chat.
Yeah.
But Damo, good to have you in here, brother.
Of course it is. Apparently he loves me.
Demo, I think, maybe in love with you.
Fair enough.
So
I'll add him
Demo
to
on
me
the list
list.
as well. Add him to your list. I love it. So Shaggy is now coming around. I don't think he's going to improve, but the thing about it is, Bird is getting a tasty little toe, and Bird goes up into pole. Oh, it's so close with the guys now. Never mind the fastest lap. Or the fastest gap. Let's go to this. 0.26 of a second.
Yeah, there's getting a bit of rubber on the track now. You see him going a bit quicker now, I think.
Oh, Minden Bean's not going out again, so Bird has to just be worried about MCL, who's less than a tenth behind. Then Sierra has quite a bit of time. Well, Sierra's up 2 tenths, nearly 3 tenths at the minute. Come on, Sierra. I think I said Sierra second, didn't I?
You did.
And then who did I say third again? I can't remember.
Bird.
No, Bird for pole, wasn't it?
Yeah, Bird, Sierra, MCL.
Oh, MCL, yes. Right, so I need MCL and Sierra to improve. Okay, so that's not going to happen.
I need MCL to improve.
But I'll tell you one thing, it's very, very close so far. Less than a tenth for the top 4.
Yeah.
Shaggy's not going to be improving. PWWXZC21 is probably going to get a shot at it. Seaman here, will I have a look at a split? No, he's off the track, so that's not going to happen. For Hilly.
Yeah. Save your mouthful, just say Ryan for PWWNDX. Just say Ryan.
I enjoy fucking up his name. I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, you're fucking up everybody else's name, Flick the Bean and Seaman.
They're real names, though. They would. I guarantee you, if they had the choice, they would change the name to what we're saying. Hilly's up nearly a second here on this lap.
Of course he would. Well, MCL is up 8/100ths.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on that because that could be pole if it stays that way. So Hilly here is going to be jumping up probably into the top 3. Top 4. Oh, look at this. Top 5, not even a tenth between them. This is close.
MCL's here now.
This is provisional pole, is it? Oh, second. Oh, wow. Points. That's just crazy.
Isn't it just?
Whoa.
I think I'll have to do a lottery ticket this week because I've got 3 out of 3 again.
Here. I think you're fixing something here. But
hey, I wish I could.
Isn't that amazing, though? Top 5, less than a tenth. That's ridiculous.
That's like esports, that is.
I don't mind. The top 9, less than 0.7 of a second covers them.
Doesn't that show?
Sick.
Doesn't that show that the tier system works?
Do you know what it is? It's not that the tier system works. They hear your beautiful voice. That's what it is. Michello's in saying hello. It is your beautiful voice, let's be honest. But Papa, what a qualifying.
Yes.
Honestly, I did expect Bird to get pole because I was seeing he was very comfortable out there. So that was a great pole from himself. MCL, we know how super fast he is. We've seen that yesterday as well. Flicking the Bean then obviously has been working for Minden as he's now up in third. Sierra, very, very unlucky not to be up there as well as Hilly because they all put in phenomenal laps to be that close to each other.
Yeah.
Prediction for the race now. I'll let you go first this time.
I'm going to keep with me pole 3.
Okay.
MCL Minden.
Okay, so I'm going to go Bird for the win. I'm still going to go Sierra second and MCL third. I have that feeling. I have to.
We're going to stick.
Because
stick with pole.
Like you couldn't go wrong mixing and you the top 5 really.
No, but you've also got Steele in there, and I don't think our Ricky will be at the back. So.
No, I think Steele, Exo, Ricky, they will improve. But the guys up front, because we didn't see their true pace, just seeing how quick the guys are there, it's going to be tough. Now, Michello, right, I'm going to say this. Now, it's not for you, because I told you it's for the Polish ladies. Yes, Tesh Piękna. You know what that means. I'll get you to say that to all the girls. It's a very flattering way of calling a Polish person beautiful.
Why don't you just say you're beautiful?
Because if they don't speak English and they speak Polish.
You speak better English than me, half of them do.
All right, mate. All right. That's my English done. Phil Mitchell. I can't do it.
Thought it was back with Floyd then.
You all right, mate?
Going down Southend, don't we? Going down Southend. Joe Hughes.
I want to try and mimic Rabsy one of these days. Rabsy. It's back. Don't know what happened that there. Must be me messing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump on to the track guide. I think I hit the stop stream by mistake there. They're on the warm-up lap, so we're going to do the track race intro now as they're doing the warm-up lap, okay?
Okay. So, yeah, I hope I haven't kissed its death there saying that, but no, they have been entertaining and
absolutely, they've been amazing, and we're literally halfway around the track now. So we're going to start with the tires because there is the 3 compounds out there. So
yes,
hard compounds for board. MCL's gone for medium. Fictabina's gone for hards. Sierra's gone for medium. Hilly's gone for softs. Shaggy on hards, everyone else on mediums down to Exo who's on hards, but then you have Lord Rukaz and Pastado out on softs as well, which is absolutely mental. I wouldn't have... how brave would you have to be using softs here?
The only reason I can feel on that is that they want to make the way up the field a bit, but I wouldn't be dicing that sort of gamble, I'm sorry. Whether they're hoping for an early safety car, 3-4 laps.
See, I think the quality of drivers here, I don't think there's going to be that early safety car kind of thing happening.
Well, that's what you've got in this. You have got a lot of quality drivers in here. There's not many. A Thursday stewards room isn't really that busy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you've got some sensible drivers here.
Interesting to see. 1 or 2 cars floating into position.
I would not be choosing softs, though. That is one thing. Right then.
We're on to the race start here now. 5 lights. And we're away. And it looks like Bird got a good start, but MCL got a cracking start there.
Illy's had a woman to the back of somebody and right at the back of the Bingham Bean. He stalled on the start.
No. Well, Bird has done what he needs to do, and MCL is after losing the position to Sierra. Sierra's up into 2nd spot. PWW and Shaggy swapping positions as well. Then you've got Rookie License down to 6, Seaman 7. You've got Steele and 8, Wallace 9, Exo up to 10. So Wallace and Exo had flyers of starts.
He's spun again. His tyres are red off.
Oh.
He's down to P15.
Not what he needs straight away. And Wallace now up into 8th spot here after getting by Steele. It is all happening at the back. Exo now is sitting there right behind. We know Exo's going to play the long game here. He's not one to over-attack. He races his race as it should be raced. Then we have All Gold right behind him as well. Ludolf might be in the slower car, but I think he will just keep his head down and probably not over-offend either. You know what he's like. He thinks about the long game here.
Your front 2 are pulling away from people at the moment.
Yeah. And Pastello and Hilly and Lord Rakaz all seem to be suffering on those softs. They're not really having the momentum that you would have expected.
It's too hot. It's too hot inside.
Although look at this, Sierra is all over the back of the board here. So Sierra on those mediums, because he has the pace as well. I think that's fair pace deficit. They're on different strategies. So Bird probably doesn't have to lose too much time really defending here, because it's not his fight as of yet.
I see Seaman coming on the inside of Shaggy.
Jump on there. Oh yeah, he goes around the outside, gets that job nicely done. Places the car nicely, runs it wide enough where he's blocking. That is lovely driving. Hilly is in the pit, so I think Hilly's given up there. And young Wallace gets by Mr. Shaggy, and next up the road for Wallace now is Siemens. Steele as well, coming back into it there, but he does have Ludolf right behind him. I think Steele knows he can look more ahead of him. You know, Ludolf's not going to jump straight away into some mad action.
He's put mediums on, he's taking the softs off and put mediums on.
I'd say they're being cooked at the minute, to be honest about it. With full tanks of fuel as well, they're just going to suffer. Softs near the end, I would have expected, not at the start. With such heavy fuel loads and the track conditions as they are, you'll just be absolutely killing yourself there out there. It'll be way too warm.
Honestly, I thought all gold Exo Steel.
Exo closer, but he does have now all gold all behind him as well. All gold has a much better run, has the inside. Ludolf knows, look, I'll take my line. I'm not going to worry about you just yet. Oh, as all gold drops it. It's like Ludolf knew what was going to happen. And Bird with another fastest lap. So Bird now, I think, is starting to get those hards going. It does take a few laps to get the hards going. I don't think there's going to be much of a pace difference, really. So if Bird can keep kind of Sierra behind, he's doing a great job.
He's changed his softs to hards, Minden Beam. And sets the fastest line.
No, Minden started in the hards, bro.
Oh.
It was Lord Rakaz, Pastorello and Hilly. So Hilly's on the mediums.
Yeah, you might be right. Well spotted.
You alright, bro? Pastello is up into 10th now, so he's starting to make the softs work, but he'll be super fast maybe for another lap or two, and I can only imagine him dropping off.
Yeah.
Although Sierra's getting very, very close now to Bird, and don't forget DRS is now open. So let's see what happens here. That bit of sideways action helped him. It's probably going to cost him to LCL here. MCL has a much better drive. Oh, but look at this here. Sierra's not giving up, and he's going to hold the inside line for next corner. This is great driving. MCL is going to try and go with him, but that's great driving from Sierra there. Well defended. Oh, and MCL loses it there. That is horrendous, but you know what? He didn't get any damage. Fair play to him. Oh, that was horrendous for him though, because he was driving so well. Now Rookie is now up in the 4th place. How are you doing, Glenn? Are you well? Minden Flick My Bean is now in 133.5, so that's a great lap for Minden, especially on full race fuel. Let me have a look here now. So Exo lost out there as well. I wonder what happened with Exo. Because Pastello, I think it is, got by himself and Steele, that's why. So in that Mercedes, it should be quite fast, but you know, how long will them softs last?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? That's the question.
It'll be interesting to see.
Shaggy putting on a single bit of pressure.
So I'm just keeping an eye here on all this. So it's starting to spread out other than the likes of Wallace, Shaggy, you've got Pastello, and then it looks like Ludolf is catching back up with Steele as well, so that's going to be an interesting battle as well, come closer to the time.
And Wallace holds him off. This is needing here. What happened there? That's the way. Where did he come from?
I think the tyres are starting to cry in a few of these. They're driving very, very hard to start with the very good track temp that's out there with heavy fuel loads. It is eating those tyres. The Sierra's after losing it there.
Yeah, Sierra's lost it on the grass.
So the setups could be too aggressive and could be eating the tyres, tyre pressures, anything. It's very, very sensitive with these cars. So the slightest bit of extra camber, tyre pressure, even a bit stiffer suspension can cause extra heat.
Could even be a breath of wind.
That's it. Are you blowing actually down the mic and maybe blowing into them?
No, I'm a sucker.
Oh, Reed told me all about that. Look at this though, as you're saying, that Steele and Shaggy are starting to go at it. Although Shaggy does have the Alpine, which is a faster car, and makes short work. But look at Exo is right into this here.
Yeah. And playing his Preakins card with Exo.
And as we say, that Pastello's got by Mr. Wallace.
Yeah. Soft tyres have done the trick there, I think.
That's it, is. It's the soft tyres there now, but they're not going to last too long. I still think starting on the softs is the wrong idea.
Yeah, I do too, mate.
It definitely hasn't helped Lord Rakaz. Oh, Oh, MCL's after dropping it.
Oh, yeah.
PWW Ryan X3Z21 is now up into second spot. This is great news for Bird as well, because he's 1.5 second, 1.6 second, 1.7. It's going up.
Yeah. He's out now, MCL, but lost a lot of time.
Oh, unlucky for MCL there.
P3. Ryan's P2. Only second mark behind here.
There's definitely no certainties in this race here. Tyres are obviously suffering.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when Lewis had to cross the line with a blown front right tyre.
Yeah, yes. Where are we going now?
And actually, with the damage settings, are they able to get punctures?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You'll be seeing one or two of them, I reckon, tonight. I'll call that.
Yeah, we saw a couple on Monday with the F2s.
Yeah, it's a tyre eater. This track, it seems to be. More for the temps with the aggressive setups.
Rudolph's is the man to watch, I think, at the moment, as Shaggy picks up the first penalties.
That's it, we are literally on Rudolph here, as yeah, he's absolutely flying out there now. And it seems there Exo is still kind of, he's sitting in behind Steele. I don't know if he's going to keep going. What do you reckon?
I don't think he'll stop behind him much longer, because Steele will be going, well, I thought he was going out of DRS range on Shaggy, but he's actually catching up to Shaggy now.
It's getting close. It seems to be, though, that Williams is definitely a lot faster in a straight line than that McLaren. The McLaren seems to have just like air brakes on.
Yeah, you're right. See how he catches up, though, on the corners?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
And now you've got Minden joining the back of Exo as well, so...
Minden is absolutely flying out there. There's no other way to say that.
No, so your closest battles then are P6 down to P10.
That's it. Bird still has that nice buffer of about 1.5 seconds as well.
Yeah. And obviously Ryan, Rookie and Simi, they'll be pitting before Bird. And Pasteleo. And Wallace. So, yeah, Bird's in a good position at the moment.
He definitely is. If I was Bird, I'd probably be easing off the pace a little bit just to kind of save a little bit of life. Just to maybe, if you can decide to pull that out, then maybe longer. And then go on to softs at the end if you can really stretch those hards.
Yeah, these five are right close together now, aren't they? There's only
Absolutely.
Only covering all five of them.
Shaggy though is getting super close. I'm going to jump up with Shaggy here because he's the start of this train. Oh, for Wallace here, he needs to do his best, because if he gets swallowed up by one, he's going to get swallowed up by probably 2 or 3 really in the one go.
Yeah, he's going to have to make himself wide.
100%. 100%.
M Steel on Shaggy, no, pulls out.
It's what a great view to it. It's a great battle to be watching, isn't it? 5 cars.
Isn't it just? Love it when it's like that. And you've got Minden putting pressure on Exo.
I have a feeling Exo might be a sitting duck here. But he's doing enough. He's done enough. Fair play to Exo.
Yes, fair enough there, mate. I thought he was a goner there for Minden, but no. I'm on board with Rudolph now. He's got a lot under his foot, I think. He's not using his full throttle, I don't think. No. Might have to now.
I don't. Looking at the ERS, like, Ludolf has a massive amount in the bank. Well, all the lads around him have nearly none. So Ludolf he's thinking the long game. He's not just overusing his ERS trying to get by. He's doing it the smart way, natural progression.
He looks after that battery really well. Ludolf does. Shaggy's got past Wallace now.
Oh, Ludolf might be under a bit of pressure there. I was holding the inside line, but look at that, Minden being going later on the brakes, and he's holding the inside line for the next corner. So Ludolf now is at the back of this train, but also not a bad place to be either. Let them overwork the tyres. He can sit within the DRS train and just sit there, let the guys overuse the tyres. He can go on, because look, he nearly back up to 90% on ERS, while everyone else less than 10 for most of them there.
He's getting the best pull possible, hasn't he? He's got 4 cars in front of him breaking the air. So
he'll be top 5 by the end of this race. I have a feeling of that. He's in a good position. It doesn't look like it now, possibly for anyone who's not looking at the long game, but I think he's in a good position.
Yeah, definitely. So he's holding his ace, his battery. He's holding that back, and he can use that later on and make time up. Yeah.
100% there.
Steamy now. Steamy's not far behind Rookie.
As we say that, Minden and Steele. Minden's gone out the outside of Steele, on the inside then for the long corner, but Steele is not giving up. Steele is hanging it around the outside. Drag race down to the next corner. Steele's going to have a better drive. Look at this side by side. There is no giving up from either of these. And what I love about this is not a bit of contact between any of these three.
Great driving. Saying Exo. Hello?
Yep.
Say Exo was a few yards back, and now he's up right on the back of Minden again. He's just...
Minden got a little bit squirrely there, and Exo is just sitting there. So Exo, I think, needs to actually make the move on Minden, because he's starting to drop off from the other guys. So I think Exo might just have to use a little bit of his ERS in the next corner or two, maybe wait till that hanger straight, get by, and just kind of get back in contact with the others, because they are starting to drop a little bit behind. Minden is now half a second off.
Exo's just there patiently. I don't think he feels any pressure at the moment. He's just going along with his race and taking it all in.
He definitely is. I wouldn't like to see him dropping off that pack though either, because if he gets held up by Minden enough to be dropped off from the main pack, then he's not really getting properly pulled along.
That's right.
Which he needs to do. But look at this behind as well. All Gold is quite close now to Sierra.
Interesting at the back of the field as well. MCL's not making much impression. Whether he's picked up any damage, underfloor damage, I don't know, but he's not making much impression in 15th place.
He could be just kind of just focusing on his own race to try to get to the end now at this stage. Although Harris to go 40 odd laps, that's a push. That's a push. We'll go back onto the battle in here now. Oh, so why is Exo so far off? What happened with... Ludolf, he's now 2 seconds off Minden.
I've been watching Steele and Minden, so Steele and Wallace, so I don't know. I missed that.
Look at PWW though, less than half a second now he was from
He's
Board.
took a second out of Bird somewhere.
Oh, Board could be, it's probably not a second look here, but on the next straight.
I wouldn't battle with him. He's got extra laps in them tyres.
Yeah. At the same time, be nice just to kind of hold him up a little bit. He's doing a great job though.
As Minden's made a move on Steele. And Hilly picks up 3 points, 3 seconds. Unlike Hilly.
Not what you need at all. Not what you need.
Exo's in the pits.
I'm surprised he's in the pits already on the hards. Did he get damage?
I don't know. I'll go and have a look now, see if the
front wing out there. Yeah, he's got damage.
Yeah, he's got front wing damage.
That's a
so
shame.
whether you need a bit of a touch on somebody.
Yellow flag there, Mercedes of gold had spun there.
Minden now all over Wallace, and he takes him. Yeah, moved by Minden. Plenty of respect shown from both drivers there.
Fair play to him. Sierra.
Say you don't get Sierra or Illy getting many penalties, and they've shown up tonight for some reason.
Yeah, it's definitely not the race we were expecting. Seaman's doing a great job up in fourth. Rookie license in third is doing a great job. Board now, after being overtook by Ryan, I think he's just going to sit with him. He doesn't need to overfight this. Board will be calm and calculated, knowing that he's going to go a bit longer, and he's going to be much faster then in the second phase of this race as well.
Right, that's right. As Pastoleo's in the pit.
Oh wow. So 14 laps he's got out of those softs.
Yeah, more than I'd expect.
Definitely, well, fair play to him. I didn't expect him to go more than 10 laps, to be honest, there, with the heavier fuel load. So fair play.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Bird's just keeping on the back of Ryan. He's not letting him get away at all, so...
No.
But do you expect the mediums going in about lap 19-20?
I would say, yeah, probably lap 20.
Mm-hmm.
You might have a few that might be the kind of people that might be able to drag a bit more. That might go to about lap 22 and then only do like 30 laps on those hards, because there's not a massive drop off, I don't think, compared between the mediums and hards.
I was saying that last night, weren't we? There's not much.
Like, it's evident there. Like, Board has been able to hold off mediums for 14 laps.
Yeah.
So it's quite evident they're 13 laps now as they're onto their second lap with Ryan ahead.
Yeah, so due to Lottery K being in the pits and Exo being in the pits, MCL has gone up to P13. Still not the impression I thought he'd make.
No, well, unfortunately for Ludolf, it's a stop that he wasn't exactly meant to be having.
No. But he'll have a plan B with Will Ludolf. He'll have a plan B.
So Board is still sticking along, but M. Steele and Wallace now.
Yeah.
And they're both on the same tyre compound, on the same strategy for now, but Steele just seems to be carrying a little bit more pace than the Williams. I'm surprised how fast the Williams is compared to that Aston Martin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's well, I think Williams in the right hands is a quick car.
Yeah. And we have a spinner again. Is that it's got all gold again?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, so Steele ever closer to Wallace now. Wallace is out of DRS range, so Steele's got it all in his hands.
Yep. The only thing is, though, you see some of these people coming around Maggots and Beckett's and that, and coming onto the hanger straight, they can get a little bit sideways. They let off the throttle, and it's just enough. But this time here, Steele is definitely on it. So Wallace is obviously going to try a little. No, Wallace isn't even fighting this too much. He's hanging it around the outside, though. And well done from Wallace there. He didn't go for defensive line, he just took his own line. He knew he was going to carry the speed around the outside. Fair play. That was good fair driving. And quite interesting as well. Ford is sticking in and around the 1 second mark as well. And the DRS, he's doing enough just to stick with him.
Yeah, and Rookie and Simi, at least picked up another 3 seconds. Yeah, Rookie and Simi are making no impression on Bird, so.
Oh no.
He's driving his own race, Bird, I think.
Yeah, he's doing the right thing. He's very smooth on his inputs. I've been looking at him for a lap or two now as well. And he's very, very smooth of how he takes the racing line, how he hits the apexes. He's very careful not to use way too much of the car, but just uses enough just to hit the apex and make the corner stick.
I was just going to say, I think Illy's going to retire, and he has. He's retired in the pits.
We'd never like to see that. Never like to see that. It's a shame.
Yeah, I did say earlier that it's very rare that you see Illy with points, penalty points, and he's got 11 seconds, so maybe it's disheartened him. I don't know, but.
Well, look at this move from Lyndon Bean. Trying to stick it up the inside of Shaggy.
Yeah.
Shaggy has the inside line here. Minden breaks that bit later and is then entitled to more room, holds the inside line. That is a job well done by Minden.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Shaggy's back in.
I meant to say flick the bean, sorry. He's got the job done. The only thing is, though, Shaggy will have DRS.
Yeah. No, Shaggy's not letting him go.
If I was Minden, I'd nearly let Shaggy have the inside line just for the DRS down the back straight.
So Sierra's in the battle now with Wallace and Steele.
Let's jump onto that, and we'll keep an eye on Shaggy as well. As Bird is back in the lead, by the way, neither of us got to see that because we're looking so much at what's going on.
Well, we can't have our eyes everywhere, mate.
That's it. So Bird from Ryan from Rookie. The board is now 2.2 seconds clear, so evidently I'd say Ryan had a bit of a moment.
Will his tyres be going off? I'm on board with Ryan now, and I don't think his tyres look particularly good.
Shaggy and Minden again.
Wallace 3 seconds. And Sierra's took Wallace. Wallace is taking him back, right back. Sierra and Wallace battling back.
So Shaggy is... Oh!
Steele's off.
We've seen that on the stream there as well. I was looking at the cars ahead. Not what Steele wanted there anyway.
Was there any contact?
No, it looks like he just dropped it on that exit. As I was saying earlier on, it's so easy to get the car sideways because your tyres will be absolutely screaming going through Maggots and Beckett's, just overheating, and then you're just hanging it because the speeds they're going through there. Shaggy and Minden's still at it. That's so unlucky. So Steele is in the pits. No way. That's going to be a long old stop for him. Shaggy and Minden are still at this. But this time Shaggy is so much closer here. And the DRS. This surely has to be it. No!
Wow, good driving, lads.
Minden though has only 14% ERS while Shaggy has 75%, so Minden has been absolutely draining that ERS. As EXO fastest lap of 133.348.
Wow.
Rudolph showing a bit of pace mid race.
You got to really pat Shaggy on the back there. He's not give up the ghost 2 laps ago when Minden took him, and he's
with a yellow flag, and it looks like Lord Ricaz, is it?
Yeah, Lord Riquet, yeah.
We'll call him Captain Bacalao.
Aye.
Shaggy is still having a good little battle, and it's the closest battle on track.
Yeah. Bird's increasing his lead, but yes, let's go on board with Shaggy and Minden. That's the only entertainment we've got at the moment.
Well, other than your lovely voice.
Eee! Your compliments are better than flowers and chocolates, mate.
Definitely not as sweet though.
Eee! I don't know. That's in the eyes of the beholder.
I go for the blind one, so
I'll go for Moses who've got diabetes.
And it could be sugar-free chocolates. Shaggy is absolutely... I don't know what he's going to have to do to get by Minden. I don't think there's much he can do.
No, I think Minden's broke him now, I think.
They're still going quite strong anyway.
As Bird's increased his lead to 2 seconds. So 18 laps, we perhaps see a bit of action in the pits with the medium drivers in a lap or two's time, mate.
Yeah, I would say now, in the next few laps we will be open up for the mediums to kind of come in.
Yeah, Shaggy's dropping now, he's nearly a second behind now.
Steele is definitely going to go to the end on those hards though.
Yeah.
So that might help him hopefully later on, because that was quite unlucky. That was a big accident. Sierra and Wallace are in the pits.
Yeah. Keep me on these. Somebody's putting fresh mediums on. I think Wallace is putting mediums on and Sierra's putting the hards on.
Wow. That's good news for Mercedes now. All gold and Pastello. Pastello could probably pull that car to the end.
Yeah, as Ryan picks up 3-set penalty. That's not good.
Oh, that's not good at all.
He's been trying his best to catch up to Bird and paid the price.
That's tough.
But, yeah, well, I made a mistake. I thought Wallace had put his mediums on, but he has put hards on.
Yeah, it's a smart thing to do. Otherwise, he'd be two-stopping.
Say Shaggy. He's still not making any reaction, but MCL and Wallace are having a little battle. The two Aston Martins.
Oh, they are indeed. MCL on 13 lap old one, so they don't really need to be fighting each other too much. Although Wallace will have to get the tyres up to temperature, so he will be probably for a lap or two maybe not as fast, as obviously MCL's tyres would be an optimal temperature now at this stage.
Yeah.
Shaggy and Minden being, I don't know what they're going to do, but Ryan now is actually less than a second and a half off board as well, so interesting to see that Ryan's after making up. I wonder did the board have a little bit of an error? Did he miss his braking point at a corner? It could have been something very, very silly there. But Ryan is definitely in the hunt now, 1.5 seconds off. ERC Shaggy though is still tempting us with him and Minden going at it, but now Exo and Wallace.
Yeah, just going to say Exo's right up Wallace's exhaust pipes now.
Oh, Exo's a
Shaggy. Shaggy's back with half a second to Minden. Like an elastic band on the back of Minden, he is. Boing, boing, boing.
He just threw an anchor and locked on now. He's just put a rope around the rear wing of that car and it's just getting pulled around.
As the rookie goes in the pits, another of the mediums going in the pits now.
What it looks like to me is that it looks like Ricky is bedding in those hard tyres quite easy. He's not really fully pushed in that car yet. Or maybe just there isn't the grip as of yet until they get really up to temperature and bedded in.
Yeah, looking foot yards on. It'll be interesting to see where he comes out. He's going to come out with 6, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Exo and Wallace.
So this is a surely Exo. But then again, that McLaren struggles with straight line speed though. I just have a feeling if he was in a Red Bull or Ferrari there, he would have been well boy.
Oh, gone now. Gone.
Oh, he's going down the inside. Good driving from both of them, in fairness.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, Colin, I think I've got to make a toilet break.
No problem at all. Absolutely no problem.
Because you're all right because you wear a nappy, don't you?
I actually was pissed into a bottle under the desk, so don't tell anyone though.
That's my next move.
Yeah, doorboard.
In the hospital, I'll get one of them bottles.
You'd be grand. We missed you for a minute, but look, like, what's it? Something hard to, I don't know, my heart will grow fonder anyway. Distance makes the heart grow fonder, isn't that what it is? But when you go and do what you need to do, I'm going to stay on here with Mr. Exo, who's fighting your son, the fruit of those lines.
Stop talking to me then.
Papa, don't piss yourself. As Ludolf now is much closer now to Ricky, you hardly think this is going to be the move done. Well, Ricky's going to sand it a little bit, but Ludolf seems to have the pace, which is good. Yeah, and that looks like that move is done. So one down, next up. Look at this, Simi and Pastiello are swapping places at each go of it as well, so let's see what they get up to here. So Simi, I'm just going to call him Seaman again because it's easier. Still with a 3-second penalty there. We'll actually do a penalty rundown. So this penalty rundown is brought to you by Papa going to the toilet. So Ryan has 3 seconds worth of penalties, Shaggy has 3 seconds, Sierra has 3, Wallace has 3, Steele has 3, Hilly had a clock full of them, but unfortunately Hilly isn't there anymore. But there we go, that's that over with. So now Wallace is about 0.6, 0.7 seconds, or 0.1 of a second should I say, off Exo now. So Ludolf is just focused on the cars ahead of him now and is starting to pull a bit of a gap on Mr. Ricky, but that's due to several things as PWW Ryan is in the pits. And Minden Bean looks like he's going to get ahead. He is. Rookie license though is still quite a bit off. So Ryan has really made those mediums work well and he's gone quite a long time on them, 23 laps. Fair play to him. So that is not bad news at all for Ryan there now after the pit stop. He does have that 3-second penalty to contend with, but up in a podium position and 6 seconds clear. Now the only thing is he's going out on another set of mediums, so he's going to have to make one more stop. So probably not the ideal move. Whether he forgot to change to hards, I'm not sure. Maybe he's going medium, soft, or maybe there is a bit of rain coming in the near future. It is Silverstone and it is always susceptible to a bit of rain there as MCL gets by All Gold, because All Gold is only exiting the pits there now.
Yeah, it's looking a bit cloudy.
Yeah, just saying that because Ryan has pitted, but he's gone out in another set of mediums, which means he's definitely going to have to go again.
Yeah, no goals, put softs on.
Oh, that's interesting. We'll see what happens. So Simi is now in 6th position. and flying along still. Rookie license is in 4th, but I don't think rookie license is up as much as he expected to be. So Flick the Bean is up in 2nd spot. So the only thing is though with him, we'll go back to the tyres. He's on 23 lap old now, 24 lap old as well, hards, and he's literally a pit stop behind Bird. So unfortunately for Minden, that accident at the start has really cost him where he should be.
Chaz, on it.
So you feel quite bad from there. Well, it's quite gapped at the minute, to be fair about it. Now, that's because there has been a mix of people pitting and people that are going that bit longer. Everyone on mediums has finally pitted. Pastello, fastest lap there on 11 lap old hard tyres. Fair play to him. Always good to see.
Yeah, a bit of a lull in it now. There's quite a bit of gaps now.
But sure, look, this is what happens in racing, but it just takes for the rest of the guys to have their pit stops done, and then boom.
Yeah, of course.
But, looking forward then to next week's race as well, in Canada, especially for the Managers League, which I normally commentate on. Unfortunately, last night there was 1 or 2 hiccups, and I figured out one of the hiccups as well when it comes to the stream pausing itself, because the stream's paused itself twice through here so far, which I've noticed, and it's down to me streaming that other stream to you, so that's why I pulled that one off. So because it was, for whatever reason, was actually making it pause the other stream, which was really weird.
Was it acting like a standby, do you think, or?
It seems to be. I think it was getting confused with the other stream being running.
Right.
So that's why I've stopped that one, and it's fine. So it hasn't paused it since. So quite funny. But PWW there on the fresh mediums at 132.2. That's a great lap there for race fuel as well. Now obviously the cars are now a bit lighter because we are officially halfway through this race on lap 26 of 52. With Bird going through sector 2.
Halfway through already. Wow.
It's after flying. Absolutely after flying it is.
I couldn't get over that last night though. I was there. I was focused on Sainty, ready for him to have the pit stop, and I just happened to look at the laps, and he was on his last lap.
Yeah, time really does fly. It really does fly, which is good to see. And guys, thanks for all the follows. I do see there was a few people following there today. I have a lot of people that have followed, so thank you so much for following. You're all welcome along to the channel.
Yeah.
Great to have you all along.
Yeah, all goals just knocked a second off the fastest lap.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Oh, Ryan's got another 3. Trying too hard, Ryan.
I still think he should have just went on to the hard tyres and just went to the end. I think it would have been a safer option for him.
Yeah. Because he'll be pushing them mediums now, and they won't be up to race speed, will they yet? Well, just on it, I suppose, but...
Yeah, but just not where they need to be, you know. But still doing a great job nonetheless. As Bird is now gone on to softs.
Ooh.
Do you know something? My mind's being blown with the strategies that are happening out here.
Yeah, is this a glitch?
Our Chili's after saying there, hey guys, I think that's probably me done with 100% for this season. Championships ruined through no fault of my own. Never give up, Hilly. At the end of the day, you know, get the experience in. If you're planning on putting on a championship fight, you got to fight through the shit times as well as the good times.
Because them the people ahead of you in the championship, Hilly, they're due a bit of bad luck, just like yourself as tonight.
Absolutely, everyone gets good and bad luck. But I remember there was in one league when I did race in F1 well over a year ago now, obviously. Oh, as your young man there gets 3 seconds worth of time penalty added on. I remember I went through a stint. Now I was fighting, like in the split that I was in, I was fighting for race wins all the time. My very first race, the rules pissed me off, and even though I won the race, they were taking off people's time penalties. And then with your man's time penalty, because I just stuck with him, I never overtook him because I knew he had a time penalty. and then the stewards just removed the time penalty when I don't think it should have been done. But I got over that. But then I had a few race wins, but then I had 7 races in a row, and I'm not shitting you, going for the lead, and one person took me out 3 or 4 times in a row, and then the other time was just silly accidents happening. So Hilly, I can guarantee you, persevere through it and you'll come out a better driver for it, and you'll actually learn how to avoid certain things. And if there is other people, that you mightn't trust, although here it's very clean racing, so I don't think that applies here. But just to get the fighting mentality, just to keep going through it. I think when you go through a bad patch, you just got to keep at it.
Definitely, I echo them comments as well, Colin, as Bird and Ryan are having a bit of a battle. But no, Billy, don't let that bother you, mate. You've had one bad experience tonight. You're one of the most consistent drivers I know of, and no, you can bounce back from this, mate. Come on.
100%. And he will bounce back from it.
Of course he will. He'll get some shit in Discord if he doesn't. Yeah, so Bird's making this little last sing a bit, isn't he?
He is indeed, but I think he has it done now.
He passed him then as if there was nothing.
But the thing about it is, I don't know why he didn't just do mediums to the end. I'm so confused with Bird. 7 seconds off. Obviously he has the pace, so maybe he's going to do soft and soft, or else soft and medium, but it's a very peculiar strategy.
Yeah, just set fastest lap as well.
But it's getting darker at certain parts of that track. That sky is starting to look a bit sketchy, so maybe Bird is doing the right thing. Maybe Bird knows something we don't about rain coming.
Yes. Good point, Colin. Good point.
Is he doing a rain dance, I wonder?
The Bird rain dance. Now there's a picture in your mind.
Be grand. So Ludo's still doing a great job. 15 lap old mediums. They are known to do about 20 laps, 22 laps I think it was, 23 laps. Kind of at the back side of things. So let's see what he can do. I'm sure if he thinks rain's on the radar, he'll probably just pull those mediums out longer, so he's not having to pit twice.
Maybe so. Interesting.
ERC All Gold as well is starting to pick up. Unfortunately, Wallace is now down in an 11th spot. Those hards have not been kind to him, I don't think.
No, definitely agree. All Gold's pulling him in as well.
Oh, look at this Pastello though on rookie license. That was a lovely move by Pastello. Just threw it around the outside and around he went. That was a lovely move. The only thing is though, maybe rookie license was expecting to go for the DRS, but he's dropped a bit too far off for the DRS to really be effective here. Because the Ferrari against the Merc, it's even enough keel and a straight line speed, I would say.
I'd just stopped a little bit closer if I could to him and used my DRS, but that's why I'm on comms. I'm not going.
You should be out there. I'd definitely love to do a bit of comms in a race with you. And I'm just checking on the car. There hasn't been any splits of rain yet. I'm expecting rain soon. For some reason, I really do think rain's going to happen. As we have, it looks like Lord Ricaz is doing a few donuts there for the crowd and is back going.
Lord Ricaz, yeah.
Must have hit the curbs. 2 Maggots and Beckett's, and especially with the load on the car the whole time as well, you could easily
that's right.
overheat. Now, Achilles after saying, thanks guys, it's the desync last week too. Look, you've no control over a desync. No one does. And that's just, it's EA for you. Unfortunately, that happens everyone at some stage. So, 2 races, don't let it get to you. Come back to me when you've had 7 awful ones in a row when it's not your fault. Then I listen to you. You'll be fine, honestly. Just cut the head down, you'll be grand, bro.
Just take notice of us, Illy. Get your head down. I'll see you next week.
Absolutely. All Gold out is catching Wallace like a train. There's now less than a second in it, but that's the difference between hards versus softs.
Yeah.
Up further, Shaggy and Seaman. 2 different compounds. That name just, I love it. I want my name to be Seaman. But he's a 2 grand anyway. We're like children.
Like one of them kids in back of classroom.
Oh, Algon has got by Wallace, but Wallace is fighting back. And unfortunately, I think it's a fight he's going to lose at the minute, but those softs probably won't go too long, so Wallace will get that position back eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, just bide his time. He'll make a few places up when others start to pit Wallace, but he'll be a mid-pack finish, I think, for Ricky. Unless there's a late safety car, you never know. We just don't know till that little fat lady starts singing her melodies.
Absolutely.
And Bird's not making much impact on Minden. Flick the bean.
Flicking that bean. Well, see, Bird. See, Minden's on 30 lap old cars anyway, so maybe Bird realises that.
Yeah.
Bird,
Shaggy and Seaman.
Yeah, they're getting close now. Bird has still confused me. I'm sure there was meta to his madness. But
yeah, I'd like to hear his. If it was a strategy, I'd like to hear his excuses for that. But I can't see Bird putting the softs on in mid-race. I think whether it's a mistake from a glitch, I don't know. But I honestly don't think he made that intentional move to put softs on.
I'd be really surprised. But then again, he did pit early enough. I would have expected Harris to go to kind of 30-32 a lap. So maybe it is a case that he meant it for whatever reason. I don't know. As it looks like there was a bit of a yellow flag there, but it's gone again. So Shaggy is getting super close now to Seaman. Seaman is... looks like on a different race compared to Shaggy there. Shaggy's carrying so much more speed. Them mediums at the minute are definitely working amazing for him. Absolutely giving it the beans anyway, but that straight line speed of Seaman though as well. I'm surprised at how little the DRS is really making any effect at all around here.
It's not, is it?
I'm shocked. I really am shocked with this.
It's now you brought it to my attention. I don't think we've seen anybody do an overtake really on DRS, have we?
No, absolutely not. This is the joys where Evolution Racing community are going to see the hardest racing now for the next 20 laps, as there's 20 laps left.
Yeah, I must say it's flown tonight. Again, it has flown. Whether it's the company or the racing, I don't know, but
it's definitely the racing, because I'm just literally in awe of being with basically the real life Murray Walker of esports, which is you, Papa Wallace.
Go, go, go!
I love it. You have to have the old bands like that. I'll tell you one thing, Bird is after popping out to 1.6 seconds. So Bird he's reeling them in.
Yeah, he is. Are these hards going a bit?
Oh, they'd have to be now. 32 laps, I'm sure they're starting to struggle. Michello, if only I'd raced. You're probably off saying yes, Tesh to all the women over there in Krakow or somewhere. Would you stop? Snorting the vodka, not even drinking it, snorting it.
Yeah, through his eye.
Oh, I done that once before, never again. It's horrendous.
No, done it once, never again. Michello, in all his greatness, he sent me a voice recording this morning and how to pronounce his name.
Was it like a real Polish accent? Hello, it's Michello.
He said Michello. So that's it now. He's going to get a Michello. Every time I mention him, it's a Michello.
Alright, Michello, you need to say to Papa Wallace, yes, tush piunta. Look at this, Bordeaux is now within a second of flicking the bean, so let's see what happens here. Mazzello. Oh, Mazzello. Michello.
Snowflake. As Shaggy's on the outside of Rookie. Not Rookie, see me. And he's past see me. Rookie's finally done it.
He has indeed, but I'm going to jump back down with Bird because this is for the race lead.
Correct.
Marcello ate a snowflake. What a dude. What a dude. But look at this. Bird is absolutely flying in now on top of Minden. So we did see, what was it, lap 12? People were getting rid of those softs. So
Yeah.
Bird will probably start to feel a drop off soon as well. So he needs to get this job done soon. And at least hold track position. There's still not a sign of rain yet, as All Go gets 3 seconds. Alfa Romeo on the Haas definitely carrying more speed. Bird using his ERS as well. But look at this though. Flicking the beans, holding the inside line, Bird on the outside. And the rain is starting to fall.
Yeah.
Oh, this could be genius from Bird, but then again, Minden flicking the bean is going to be racing side by side here. Bird's giving the room. The two of them are very fair. There was a bit of touch in there. You've seen the hand going up aboard. And now Minden's going to hold the inside line here. They're going to both make it through. They are. So Bird has to succeed to that or give in to that one there. But Bird then will have DRS down the back straight. This is getting feisty here now that the rain is coming as well. The one thing that the older hards will definitely lose temp quicker than those soft tires as well. So this could help Bird over the next lap or two as well.
DRS is in. Still doesn't make any significant change, does it? The DRS, it's weird.
No, but you can see the difference here though. That Alfa Romeo now of Flicking Bean is just, he's finding it hard to keep the traction, and you can even see it mid corner was getting a little bit loose. Bird is just sitting there waiting for the DRS to come. Bird, I do feel, especially through Magnus and Beckett's, with that little gap, he'll pull that gap in and odd the exit. We'll get that done, boy. Let's keep an eye on here.
Can you see that little blue Ryan coming in the distance as well? Ryan's bringing it in. Unfortunately for Ryan, he's going to have to be making a pit stop quite shortly. So
both are using every bit of their ERS here. Bird thinks better of it this time to stand it down the inside. And Ryan is definitely going to get involved, but Ryan has a clock full of penalties though.
Oh, Minden went for the dummy then to go in the pits. Did you see that?
Yeah. And that's why I was getting a bit confused myself, going, why was he going so far to the right? But Bird knows what he needs to do now. He'll drag them softs out until that rain comes down. So to be fair, I will say now, Bird, right, you had met a tier madness. Oh, look at the move by Bird here now. Flicking Bean is going to hold the inside though, and Bird I don't think would mind too much because he's going to get the DRS. So, and he's a lot closer this time around here now.
Look at Ryan, he's only a second behind.
That's, these boys are fighting that hard, so it looks like if Bird gets by now, Bird definitely had much better mechanical grip and traction through this part of the phase of the corner right here. And as Minden was holding it quite steady there as well, but Bird definitely drove the, you see Minden there, the twitch on the exit slows up that a little bit.
Could we see a pit stop from Minden this next lap?
Possibly, and Bird and Minden now with very, very similar ERS as well.
Ryan has drastically caught up.
Absolutely, he's literally on the rear wing nearly now of Mr. Minden. And Bird has pulled a nice enough amount away where he's not going to be under pressure. And Wallace now is after getting a 3-second penalty there.
Yeah.
Actually, I really wanted to tell you it was going to rain, but managed to hold it in. I kind of guessed it as it started getting really dark. Minden's jumping in already. Now, I know those hard tyres are probably dead now. It's hardly going to go on to the intermediates just yet. It's definitely not wet enough for intermediates. It's probably a few laps away from that.
Saying that it is getting a bit heavier, but I just still wouldn't be. Oh, I don't know.
For me, looking at that track, it's definitely still dry tyres. We're still a few laps, unless the progression. He's gone on sauce.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, he's probably going to be crying a little bit because he's not going to have many laps on those softs before he will have to pit. Now, Ryan is looking in a good position again to be right there with Bird, but the only thing is though, looking at the penalties, I'm going to go back to it now where there we go. He's 6 seconds worth of penalties. Shaggy has 3, Sierra has 3, All Gold has 3, unfortunately Ricky has 9, and then M Steele has 3 as well. So penalties have been a bit of an issue here today.
Yeah, and I don't think the penalties are over with yet.
Oh,
I
definitely
think
not.
if this rain does come, into play, there's one or two going to be trying the limits out a little bit too much.
That's the truth.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. We've still got 15 laps to go, so.
What I'm interested with here now is Ludov is now kind of on the brink of these mediums dying altogether as well. Is he going to stay out or is he going to keep going? Like, realistically, that track still doesn't look that bad, like.
No. It's one of them, isn't it? It's as MCL picks up a time penalty.
That's unlucky for him there. No way that's planned by Minden. That's 100% the glitch. But at the end of the day, I think that if he went out on inters, he was going to lose so much more time because the track is not really progressively that wet. Like, it's spitting down alright, but it's not to the point of where you'd be worried just yet. I'd say there'd be another few laps, and I'm sure Bird now is probably thinking to himself, damn. But then again, he knows a 6-second buffer, I'm sure.
Minden's going to take Seaman now. Sure he is.
I'd have to, yeah. That should be quite an easy one. Look at the grip that Minden has there compared.
Yeah.
Oh,
inside.
That's lovely done.
Lovely switch.
And he has the DRS as well. That's using your tyres to your advantage. But Bordeaux is under severe pressure because yeah, you can see the softs, the wear that's on those tyres there now.
Yeah, definitely.
They're quite worn.
These two are going to have to spit shortly. Ryan and Bird, and Pasteleo is on 24 lap old hards.
Ryan could get to the end if it stays dry, but eventually it'll start going to mediums. But for now, the rain is coming at such a slow rate. I think it's quite comfortable for everyone out there, really. It doesn't look majorly slippy.
Shaggy's putting the rookie under pressure.
They're both experienced drivers. They're not going to be worrying too much right now.
No. Pasteleo is actually 11 places up.
I haven't even looked at that yet. Do you want to tell us then who's the other big winners with the positions?
He's up 11 places up to P3 is Pasteleo, and then you've got Ryan, who's actually in P2 now. He's up 5 places. Rookie license is up 4 places.
Brilliant.
Shaggy's up a place in P5, and then you've got Simi up 2, Ogles up 3, Exo's up 1, but he's just making a pit stop now. Wallace is getting a 5-second time penalty for speeding. You can see him retiring shortly. But your big losers are MCL. He's down 7 places. Minden's down 3, but has got fresh tyres on. Sierra's down 4. Steele's down 3. So yeah, it's an interesting little mix there.
I must say, I'm very impressed with Bird. On 12 lap old softs is now 2 seconds clear on 13 lap old tyres. Has just jumped onto 13 ahead of Ryan. I would have expected these softs to drop off massively, so this rain must be helping him.
Well, this has put the intermediates on. He's gambled.
And look at that as well, Ludov is on soft tyres as well.
So there's one extreme to another. Somebody's put softs on, somebody's put intermediates on. It's going to pay off for one of them.
Like, looking at the sky, it does look like it's getting lighter, but then again there's still a bit of rain dropping. I really don't know what's happening with the weather here, because it's not progressed enough to be inters, but I don't think it's raining heavy enough to go to inters either.
I'll keep my eye on Ricky's time with intermediates on. He has pulled a second on Steele. He was 14.5 seconds behind, but now he's only 13.5. So.
And Ryan's disconnected, hence Bird is now having a bit of a breather.
This rain's getting a bit more, I think. It's coming down a little bit more.
It looks like in certain spots, all right, you would be correct with that.
Well, this is one of my Magic Mike facts, actually, Colin.
Yeah.
Because as Pasteleo picks up a 3-second time penalty, which hasn't done him many favours. He was doing really well there. But, yeah, actually, the Silverstone track is in 2 counties. You've got Buckinghamshire and another shire. Can't remember what it is now.
Here. These are James May facts you're telling me here.
Yeah. the actual track is that big. And let me put my glasses on. Because one half of the track is in Buckinghamshire and the other half of the track is in Northamptonshire.
Okay.
We've got 2 counties. You could be parking your car in Northamptonshire and watching the racing in Buckinghamshire. So,
interesting.
So, loads of shares anyway. As DRS is enabled, there's a sign that it might be going a bit drier.
Yeah. It's
all golds in the pits.
It's one of these things, isn't it, with this track now? It's whoever can really work mixed conditions. Achille loves the fact you said Buckinghamshire and another sure. Sure, look. I look at Shaggy though and Rookie. 2 boys still at it.
Say Minden's up to 4th as well.
Yeah, he's flying out there. He could probably make those softs go to the end. I'm pretty sure Board now must be quite disappointed as well of the fact he's going to have to do a pit stop.
Yeah, any time now as well, isn't it? 14 laps. Any time now will be putting.
He's going to have to go back on softs, but the only thing is, he will get ahead of Minden if he gets in soon enough. The only thing is, though, Ryan could try be clever and go to the end, but then again, he still has that 6 seconds worth of penalties. I don't think it's going to be much of a thing. This is Boards to lose now. Yeah,
and it's a pity Pasteleo's got time penalties as Shaggy goes in the pits.
Indeed, Shaggy does.
Picked up a penalty because he was in a good position, but now
it's starting to look like it is starting to look like it's time for interest because you can see how much they're struggling.
Yeah, so all golds put the inters on and Steele's put the inters on as well, and Shaggy has.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to get a bit heavier, but
Sierra's put intermediates on. MCL is going off the hards and put in intermediates
now, yeah.
Coming into play now.
Oh, this is going to be killer for Ludolf.
Yeah, it is. I'm just going to say that Ludolf, maybe Minden as well, has been caught up in this madness.
Yeah, so Ludolf's been caught quite a rate of knots as well.
Yeah, 10 laps to go.
So Board's in the pits now as well. Ryan's in the pits behind him. Pastello surely will have to go into the pits. Pastello has been having a great race. We haven't given him much coverage. He started pretty much at the back of the grid on softs, which we all thought was a bit mad, but on the hards he's done a great job. 28 laps in, and surely now he'll be in for inters as well. Yeah, he drops in.
Siemens got a penalty.
Flick the Bean stays out.
Yeah, Bird's in, Ryan's in, Pasteleo's in, Minden stays out, Shaggy picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's not done him any favours.
So let's have a look here and now. So Board's coming out, does Minden get ahead? Oh, Board gets out just right ahead of Minden as well. Minden's going to try around the outside, but Board has the inside now. Minden has the inside for the next phase. So at the minute,
Steele's got a 3-second time penalty, so 3/4 of the grid now have got penalties.
That's crazy. There'll probably be a few more as well in the last 9 laps. It's hard to believe we're on the last 9 laps already.
Yeah.
Oh, Minden gets massively sideways but holds it.
Yeah, I can see Minden pitting shortly.
He has to this lap. I think he was gambling, and the gamble just hasn't paid off. There's only 3 people on dry tyres now. Seaman, Minden, and Ludolf.
Enrique's got odds on.
Oh, he does down the bottom. 28 laps as well. Fair play to him. Minden is sticking though with Bird. Look at this.
Yes. Oh no, he's not give up the ghost there, has he?
Definitely hasn't. I'm surprised.
He hasn't got no battery though. Bird's got so much battery left.
Yeah, I think there's Minden in there now.
There you go. Minden's pitted.
So Ryan's about 2 seconds off Bird now, but then he has a 6 second worth of penalties now.
There's only 4 drivers not got penalties. Wow.
Clean race penalty or clean race points is still a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry, McCollum. Yeah, just having a mouthful of water. Them, yeah.
Or a mouthful of something else.
All right, cider. It's diabetic cider though.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. Looking after the health and all that.
Who's it for?
Ryan's only 1.1 seconds off Bird here. This is interesting now. Ryan is obviously flying on these mediums. Obviously suiting these conditions.
Well, this is another 3 seconds.
Does he think he gets £1 million for every penalty he gets? He's very unlucky. It's one of these things, isn't it? Once you go down that rabbit hole of getting one penalty, you get annoyed. You're trying your best not to get penalties. And I found back myself when I was racing flat out in Formula 1, when I started getting penalties, I get so annoyed I'd end up having a clock full of them by the end. Yeah,
that's unfortunately that's what perhaps is one of Ricky's advice. Once he gets to 3 seconds, he'll be trying too hard, and
yeah. As Ryan gets by Bird.
Yeah, made that look easy.
Can Ryan put out 6 seconds on Bird in the next few laps?
It's possible. It's possible.
That would be very interesting. I think Bird knows now he needs us to stick with him. Because you can't be too complacent.
Today, looking down the grid as well, you've got Exo in P9. He's on 5 lap old softs.
How is he still out there?
Yeah, he's going to drop down a few positions if...
That's a Mercedes of Pastello off. Oh, no.
Oh, Pastello.
Pastor Maldonado. His rookie license moves up into 6. I'm sure he's happy with that.
I bet he is, yes.
So Bird's having a great race today. In fairness to him, he's done everything he needs to do, and he knows he doesn't have to overfight this one.
No, he's racing very maturely, Bird is.
Some say you're his teacher, his sensei.
Bird's?
Yeah.
He's about 5th or 6th position behind Lewis and Max.
Oh, really?
And our Ricky.
Ricky.
Lord Ricky's picked up another penalty. I think the rain's getting a little bit more heavy.
Yeah,
or is it snow?
It looks a bit like snow, doesn't it? It's getting quite heavy there now. Still not the worst rain I've ever seen in my life, but definitely is close.
Yeah. I mean, your intermediates come in when you've got puddles, really, don't it?
Yeah.
When you've got the water lying on the track, that's when they come into their own. So, you know, if somebody like Simi, who's in P3 in the yards,
yeah,
you know, you could see him. I can't see him bringing up 19 seconds in 6 laps, but he is cutting down. It was 23 seconds, that was. Now he's down to 19. So it's hard to gauge what the best strategy is, because like says Exo, he's not losing any time.
I'm honestly shocked Exo's making this work. I think Exo has nothing to lose now. He knows if Pitts is going to drop down to 11th spot while he has a fighting chance here at the minute with how he positions the car. And I think he's doing a phenomenal job out there. Like, yeah. McLaren is a quite experienced driver as well, who knows what to do, but at the same time, when you have someone who's able to place the car, all you can do is kind of sit there and wait maybe for the dry tyres to lose a bit more temperature. He could lose a braking point, maybe get squarely out of the corner, and that's all he needs to get by.
Yeah, you're right there. I'm on board with Rookie at the moment. I've got a cracking view, and there is quite a few puddles around.
He's just got by EXO, by the way.
Oh yeah, I would set in sector 1. It's a lot more wetter on sector 1 than anywhere else on the track. As you can see, I'm on board now with Rookie, and it's looking quite wet.
Oh, it is. I'm on the outside of Rookie there. It's definitely looking very, very wet there now. And Sierra's getting close to Pastor Maldonado here as well.
Yeah, and Siemens losing a lot of time in third on the hards as well. He's dropped 6 seconds in the last lap.
Fair play.
Minden's closing the gap up on Simi now with the intermediates on. So, yeah, it may be out of these slicks now.
Oh, yeah. And Board is now 2.2 seconds off as well.
Wow.
It'd be interesting to say. I don't think Ryan can do it, but look, I could be wrong. As Steele is after getting himself a penalty as well. Still only 4 drivers without any time penalties.
Yeah.
As all goal has got by Ludolf. Ludolf's in the pits now. He has to bite the bullet.
Yeah.
He has enough time, it looks like, to Wallace anyway. Wallace was about 38 seconds off.
Yeah, Ludolf's putting on the intermediates, so that's everybody but Simi now on the intermediates.
He had to, sure. The dry tyres there
P3. Minden's gone to P3, so obviously them intermediates are coming into their own now. Simi's the only one on the slicks, and Minden's leaving him for dead now. Over a second, and he's just made the move, so 5 laps to go.
Absolutely, no, it's getting tasty.
That fat lady's starting to sing.
That is the truth. And it's not me for a change doing the singing.
Well, you're not a fat lady?
I'm a lady boy.
Ooh. I'll not go into that. Well, it's another 3 seconds. Come on, Rick. Let's set the record.
Rocky Mason's got a lovely move done on Shaggy, but Shaggy's fighting back.
Where are we? Yeah, P5. Little bit
he gets back. I think he just had to get out of that one. He wanted to go for it.
Shaggy's a fighter, isn't he?
He really is.
Every battle we seem to be on is involving Shaggy.
Do you want to know something quite interesting? Ryan is now 3.6 seconds clear of Bird, and there's still another 4 laps to go. This is getting tight for Bird now.
Yeah, we're going to have to come up with a little bit of something. The right little gaggle there from P4 down to
jumped into that there. Yeah, just seeing Seaman lost a good few spots there.
Yeah, Siemens, the slicks a couple of goose now, haven't they? Blown the wad.
Oh, yeah. If I was Seaman, I'd still go in pit, come out ahead of Ludolf, and just get home comfortably instead of losing probably 4 or 5 seconds a lap or more.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't gamble anymore, I don't think, on these hards. Yeah, he's definitely come back in front of EXO, but he might drop to EXO without a pit stop. How he's going.
And even Hilly's saying if Siemens has to pit, he's in free fall. Yeah, he should have pitted about 4 or 5 laps ago. Is he still staying out?
Yeah.
He has to come into the pits around this corner. He would be absolutely bang crazy. He's just
pulled in.
He's not blocking anyone. Yeah, he's doing the right thing there, I think, at this stage.
Oh, where's he going?
He's just staying off the racing line, so he's not blocking anyone. And into the pits, yeah. Fair play to him. I admire that.
Yeah, definitely.
Look at this though. Ward now 4.4 seconds off. This is looking like Ryan could be pulling a miracle win here. We didn't think it was possible. But it's starting to look very plausible now. He needs a 1.5 seconds with 3 laps to go, or 2.5 technically.
Definitely. I feel quite pleased for Ryan, actually. He deserves a good result.
He definitely does. I feel bad for Bird. I think Bird just had it in his hand, but I don't think he was expecting maybe to be struggling as much as he is possibly on those mediums or intermediates compared to Ryan.
That's right, you're right.
As Shaggy gets the move done on rookie license there as well. I'm just saying I'm with Bird because for me this is the most interesting battle, because this is for the race win. We're down to the third lap now. You got 50, 51 and 52. I think it's... I would put maybe... I'd put Bird at 2-1 to win now, and I'd put PWW 4-6. Because he's putting out time. Oh yeah. Like, he's now 4.8 seconds. Yeah, it's... Unfortunately for Bird, it's looking less and less likely with each lap going and the time that's coming into it that he is going to get this victory. Unless Bird is keeping a bit of pace to the end and can do a banger of a lap and maybe the last lap to make sure that it is a case that he is left. He's gone over 5 seconds there now.
Ooh, wow. Exo's going to make a move on See Me.
Go on, Ludo.
Sector 3.
Someone off. It looks like a Mercedes off of Pastor, is it? Yeah.
Pasteleo.
No, it wasn't Pastor. That was Gold, all Gold.
Yes, sorry, all Gold.
He's all by himself. He doesn't need to worry. He'll keep that position. Although Bird now has picked up the pace a bit. He's sticking at the 5 seconds. Hasn't lost much more time.
Pasteleo picks up 3. That's going to drop him down a few places.
Oh, this is...
Pasteleo was my driver of the day up until he got these penalties.
For me, there's only one driver of the day.
Bird?
Yeah. Just... He knocked out of the park today.
Totally agree.
And I will give a very, very solid mention as well to Ludolf. Even though it looks like, you know, the position mightn't show it, he was driving a very, very smart race. He wasn't overfighting. He was definitely going to gain positions through the pit stops, but unfortunately, with the rain and then with how he had to get onto the... Yeah.
Pasteleo made a move on Shaggy.
That was a nice move. We're looking at that there live, but yeah, unfortunately for him, yeah. Look, it's Bird is the drive today, but Ludolf gets an honourable mention. It's unfortunately just the rain just ruined his pit stop there. I think Ludolf was on for a decent position.
Yeah, I'm going to mention Shaggy because every time I've looked at him, he's been battling with somebody, and he's up to yet his P5. But I've got to mention Shaggy. Pasteleo, unfortunate with the penalties. But yeah, my driver of the day's Bird is Steele, picks up a 3.
Hilly was going to be my driver today, but he DNF'd himself.
Oh.
That's a hint, Hilly. Don't do it again and you'll be my driver of today. But rookie license now, Shaggy, Sierra. Nice little battle there with Pasteleo.
Yeah. And you wouldn't think that for the latter half of the race, laps of the race, that we will be battling like this.
Look at this though at Bird though, 5.6 seconds.
5.7, 5.8.
Oh, it's dropping down massively now. Bird needs a miracle.
Yes.
Bird could set his own miracle either, as he's now gone just over the 6 seconds. That's not what he wanted to see. He's hoping Ryan gets himself another penalty.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether the McLaren had held up Bird. The Aston Martin had held up Bird.
It's hard to know, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hard to know. But Ryan now has done everything he needs to do. He just needs to keep this lap perfect. And he cannot make any mistakes. 6.3 seconds. Oh, he gets another time penalty.
God.
Wow. Bird is going to breathe the biggest sigh of relief.
Wow. You couldn't write it. You couldn't write it.
Oh, Ryan will be absolutely getting himself so sick He just needed to get the car home. Shaggy gets another penalty there as well. I don't even know what way the grid's going to be the whole way down, but we definitely know Bird and Ryan will definitely finish where they are. Bird gets the win, unless he does anything crazy right now. Oh, Ryan.
Yeah. Wow.
And he was, do you know what? I still a phenomenal job by him though, because that was an amazing stint he done there. Fair play to him. That was just so unlucky, but this man here dominated and strategically doing everything he needed to do. And the main thing is no points no penalties, because he kept it between those white lines. Didn't get any kind of track warnings, not enough to warrant a penalty. Well done, Mr. Bird. Ryan, a phenomenal comeback. Unfortunately, that last lap ruined it for you. But a P2 definitely isn't a bad way to be finishing the race.
Definitely.
And we've got Minden Flick the Beam then in third position. Now this is where everything's going to change with all the other penalties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to even try guess until it just fixes itself up.
We'll leave it.
Yeah. So it looks like Rookie License has got 4th, Costello 5th, Sierra 6th, Shaggy in 7th. We'll wait to see what MCL... Oh, MCL throws it sideways. So MCL in 8th. Yeah, all gold will be 9th. EXO flies by him anyway. So EXO up into 10th. So that's good for EXO point-wise as well. It's a few extra points as well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think Lord Ricaz, though, has been a bit too far behind to jump up a position. So well done to Ludolf. Well done to Seaman. And does Lord Ricaz get to jump up? Wallace finished in 12th, even with the penalties he had, so well done to Wallace as well.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. Well, guys, I don't know, can you really beat that?
For 100, no.
That's just crazy. The weather, I really enjoyed the transition of the weather. It wasn't like, do you remember Formula 1 games years ago? It'd go from wet to rain in a lap, and it'd be completely unrealistic. I like in this game how they have transitioned the weather to be a lot more realistic with the time frame of
more gradual.
Yeah.
Not in your face weather.
No, that was nice. Bird, phenomenal drive. Can't say it enough.
So how did you enjoy your first 100, Colin?
Yeah, it was brilliant. Unfortunately, it's probably my last one because of next Thursday I'll be doing comms for a different league. Moving forward for, I think, 7 or 8 races. I've agreed with them at the minute. It's called ISDA. It's a Saddle Course League in PC.
Okay.
It's another quite good league.
Well, safety.
Well, the good news is I've given Sainty all the stuff anyway, so the stream is going to be phenomenal from Sainty.
Good lad.
We'll be giving him all your lovely track guides as well. They get off all the drivers as well. But tonight there, what a way to finish. So Bird, fastest lap as well, race win and pole 131.333. Then Ryan in 2nd spot there. Then we've got Minda being in 3rd, Rookie in 4th, Pastello in 5th. For Pastello as well, started in 14th, so that's an amazing drive up there as well. Well done to him. Then you've got Sierra in 6th. Then you've got Shaggy in 7th, MCL in 8th. You've got All Gold up in 9th as well, EXO up in 10th, Seaman in 11th, Wallace in 12th, Steele in 13th, and Rick Has in 14th. So fair play to all the guys involved there. Papa, it never ever ceases to be a great race with you in the comms box.
I could say the same, Colin. Could say the same.
That was cracking. I'm looking forward now for ERC on our Wednesday night now for the Managers League in Canada. I reckon it's going to be absolutely epic. And Canada, such high tired egg as well. It's going to be an absolute pain for the drivers and a pleasure for us. Yeah,
definitely, because their strategy comes into play big style with the likes of Canada. Like you say, it's a tire eater, and it's come down to the tactics, statistics, whatever we want to put it. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Definitely.
Oh, it's so cool. I'm really looking forward to it. Guys, I want to thank everyone who has been watching and people who will watch this after. I hope you enjoy. Now, unfortunately, because I was streaming the stream to Papa, it might be under 2 different streams because it would have paused for a second and going back going. But when I'm uploading it to YouTube, I'll have all the streams joined together. So from now on, I know for whatever reason, it seems to be only with EA when we stream to you and then stream, that seems to pause the stream for some reason. So we figured it out now, Papa, so at least we know that. But very unusual how that's happening, so I'm going to look for a workaround on that. And for all the guys who watch all my streams, so my next stream is Sunday, which I'm really looking forward to because it is the start of the ERA Season 5 ACC racing. We have 3 splits, and I'm proud to say we've got commentators in all splits. I will be sharing the links for all of our two new commentators that have joined us last week. I've done a bit of kind of going through the comms with one commentator today, and I'm going to go through a crash course tomorrow. We have a very, very new commentator, very new to broadcasting as well as commentating, going to give it a go as well, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you can do, because at the end of the day, there's no wrong way of doing commentary. There's only the one way, and it's your own way. You always have to put your unique twist in it, so I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do. So on Sunday, I will be with Tier 1, that's the creme de la creme of ERA. For an amazing start, and I'm going to be giving away 2 team jerseys. So anyone from ERC, if you're watching and you want to join in and watch the stream of the night, I do have ERC team shirts on my store. You can choose one of them instead of the ERAs either. I'm happy enough to do that.
Yeah, I've seen the Merc as well. It looks really decent, quality stuff, and very reasonably priced.
Yeah, I have to say, and a lot of the guys have got it already. It looks so nice. I'm ordering a lot for myself. Next week I'm going to be getting the admin shorts, and I'm going to obviously get yourself a shirt, Papa, as well, as we will be adding in the cameras from next week as well for the after race interviews properly going forward. We'll get it a bit more professional looking.
Yeah.
So
get the haircut and have a shave.
Well, get the makeup done as well.
That's norm.
No different to another day. And then just for the guys,
the makeup's on before I get dressed in the morning.
And just for the guys then as well, for next week, so it's the usual plan. Monday night it's with Amigos for the Assetto Corsa. It's a mixed conditions racing series, and it is just epic. I love it. And hopefully Skyler will be joining me again. He's an American guy that does commentary with me on it, and he's an absolute legend as well, Papa. I think you've jumped into 1 or 2 of them.
I did the other week. Yeah, he seems to know. He's a knowledgeable commentator.
He's actually very knowledgeable. He actually does all the training in ERA for ourselves for our academy, so he's an absolute legend. And then on Tuesday night, we're doing a podcast with Christian Fengler, who inherited over ERA, and then all of us joined in as well to push ERA forward. So he's a German man who's actually a mechanic in the helicopter part of the military in Germany. So I'll be talking to him about that, hopefully, as well as obviously league racing. Then Wednesday, where are we Wednesday, Papa? Do you remember? What stream would I be doing on a Wednesday?
It's Canada, isn't it?
Well, what league is this now? What league?
The Managers League.
But for what amazing league though? What community?
In it just it's. I suggest anybody that's got nothing to do on Wednesday night tune into the ERC Managers League, because the last couple of weeks we've had some epic racing, and I mean proper airs on back of the net racing. It's been good stuff.
100%, and you can watch the previous races on my YouTube as well. I upload every race to YouTube, and you'll get to hear Papa's voice to the end of time now, all online there as well. So guys, thank you all for joining in. Thank you for follows. Definitely. Thank you for supporting myself, but also for supporting Papa. And if you're looking to get involved with Formula 1 league racing, get in touch with ourselves, and what we can do is I can then get you in touch with the likes of Udolph and that for maybe the upcoming season. And the more the merrier into this great community. And they also run an F2 league on Monday nights. They have races obviously on a Wednesday, and then the 100%, which is tonight. And also they do race Formula 1 on a Sunday night. So if you don't race an ACC with ourselves and you fancy a bit of Formula 1, it's a different kind of game, you're more than welcome to get in contact with the guys over in Evolution Racing community, and they will assist you there with that.
Definitely. More the merrier. everybody's welcome, and it is, as Colin says, a cracking community. Everybody gets on with everybody. There's very rarely any bickering. Great banter, great set of lads. I'd highly recommend.
Absolutely. Actually, one more thing I forgot to say. On Monday at about 4 p.m, I'm going to be going live here. I'm going to do a tutorial of how to use Streamlabs to do broadcasting. And then if anyone who's a broadcaster who does that on a set of course comfort zone, I can't say the word right. So ACC TV is a software that I use. I pay for that. They're after offering me, once I show everyone how to use the ACC TV, anyone that clicks the link that'll be on my YouTube upload of it will get 21 days free of that amazing tool. It is unreal. There's custom overlays, instant replays, everything you will need to run your stream so professionally as well. So look out for that, and then when that upload goes on YouTube, that link will be there for anybody who wants to give it a go.
Wow. When I've made a note of it, Colin, but I would appreciate you reminding me about that, if you will.
No problem at all. Absolutely no bother, my man. So look, guys, thank you so much. And Papa, I'll let you have the last word to the great ERC community.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Colin, for joining me tonight. It's always a pleasure. I really look forward to commentating with you. But yeah, anybody that's not doing anything, Sunday, Monday night for the F2, Wednesday night for the Managers League, which is a must. And obviously next week we'll be doing the 100 on Thursday at Canada. Get involved, watch it. If you want to join, like Colin says, we'll get you sorted. And thanks everybody for watching, supporting Colin and ERC. And yeah, good night. God bless.